One of the subjects we didn't get to touch on last time was veganism.
Okay, I'm down with that.
You haven't always been a vegan.
No.
When and why?
I think around the age of 23, it was when I was getting my face tattooed. I went up to a guy named Zed Lahead, and they were vegetarian at the time. I didn't know. I went to get my face tattooed, and before we started the session, I went to get a sausage sandwich or something. I was like, "Oh, do you guys want any fucking a sausage sandwich?" And they're like, "Nah, mate, you can't have any of that in here." I'm like, "What?" And after that, I had a girlfriend that was vegetarian, but she used to eat Haribo and things, which have got gelatin in them and stuff. Mm-hmm. So she was like a bit flip flop, and she wasn't the healthiest at the time, and I used to obviously assume that was lack of protein or whatever else you'd programmed to think it is. And then I think around about 23, I met a guy called Cosmic Neil.
Okay. Local?
No, he's a guy from Birmingham, a really close friend of mine now, that I met through the guys there that tattooed my face. And he put the argument to me rationally and coherently to the point where I couldn't argue it. So I went home and did a bit of research and started looking into it. And then I think the ego initially has to justify its current behavior. So at the time, I think I told myself I was going to stop for 2 weeks. I wouldn't eat any meat or milk for 2 weeks to lose some weight. And I think I even said something along the lines of, I don't even care about all this save the whales bullshit. I just want to lose some weight. Do you know what I mean? That was like my justification to give it a go. And then after 2 weeks, I felt a lot better. I can't even describe. I just felt good. And I thought, I won't ever do that again. And then from stopping it completely, once it's not in your system anymore, and then I was doing further research, watched a lot of the, at the time it was Earthlings. It was a movie called Earthlings, where they'd gone in with cameras into these slaughterhouses and they show you all the things that happen to the animals. And it completely floored me. And I think about a month after the initial stopping of the meat and milk, I had some really deep emotional shift where I realized that I wasn't any more important than anything else that lives. Do you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I don't know. It was a massive mental and emotional shift, physical shift as well. I felt lighter in myself. I dropped a bit of weight. Was feeling cleaner, but there was something massive happened inside where it was like, I'm not above anything. Do you know what I mean? I don't have the right to kill you to eat your body, and then if I don't have the right to kill you to eat your body, I don't have the right to kill an animal to eat their body. I don't have the right to eat the animal if someone else kills it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm just trying to think. So originally, you hadn't come at it from an angle of I don't want to kill animals.
No,
you did it from an angle of health.
Yeah, because I think that, like I said a minute ago, you justify your current behavior. You've got it, which you wouldn't do it. Do you know what I mean? And because we're brought up doing this thing, you tie a lot of emotional stuff in with eating. So like your birthday parties around food, Christmas dinners, like your parents make you dinner and you love your parents and do you know what I mean? There's a birthday, there's a lot of our social things are around food. And then we're just taught from a young age that that's food and you don't know, and you're not going out to kill the animal. You just go into the shop and buy the product. So you don't necessarily even realize, it's meat and that beef is a cow, or that pork is a pig, but even the words are slightly different to create some sort of disparity. So you don't really know what it is you're doing. And then while your reality is dictated by your sense organs, so your holographic field is built of
here we go again.
It's built of what you hear, what you see, what you smell, what you can touch, what you can taste. So, and that's dictated by what you put in your system. So you are what you eat. So your sense organs are built of the energy pattern that you consume. And if you consume something that biologically isn't actually supposed to be consumed, I'd say your perception of reality isn't necessarily operating as it should be. So you've got a warped perception of reality based on the thing that you're consuming that you shouldn't be consuming. So human body is a frugivorous system. Like you're not supposed to consume flesh. Like a carnivore's got a jaw that only opens up and down. It doesn't grind. It's got carnivore teeth, like canine teeth. Do you know what I'm saying? People say, "Oh, we've got canines as humans," but like, you can hardly even rip through some sticky tape. Do you know what I'm saying?
Or an apple. Well,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, and then the bowel of a carnivore is 3 to 4 times the length of its body, where the human bowel is 10 to 12 times the length of its body. There's a different level of hydrochloric acid in a carnivore than there is in a human. But there's the hardest part of your digestion is your teeth. So if you can't chew something into a mush before you swallow it, it's not supposed to be eaten. So I'm saying, like, when you're chewing on a bit of steak and it doesn't actually break down, it just bounces like a bit of rubber. And as you swallow that, you've got craters and crevices all round your bowel and it gets stuck. So they reckon the average human dies with 3.5 to 4 pounds of undigested flesh in their gut because it just moves too slowly through the system. And that, I'd go as far as saying it's like one of the main reasons why people end up with a lot of the health problems they get now, like heart attacks, cancers. Like the main thing that causes a lot of issues is acidosis, systemic acidosis. So when you consume certain foods, leave an acid ash residue when they're broken down, and certain foods leave an alkaline ash residue. And the body, once it consumes too much acidic food, produces mucus as a buffering system so it doesn't damage the cells and the organs. And then if you keep consuming that's why when you get a cold, like a seasonal detox, you're coughing out mucus and snot. That's the stuff the body's produced to try and buffer the system so you don't damage your organs and your cells because of the heavy amount of shit that you're eating.
The alkali piece I've read at before about cancer not surviving in alkali environments and all this kind of stuff.
So my understanding of cancer, I don't know, I'm a tattooist, not a doctor, as you've all told me. I'm a scientist and everything else, so excuse me for having an opinion. But they, the cancers, like, they say like you've all got cancer cells in your body. Mm-hmm. That's because a cancer cell is just a normal cell that's burnt in the interstitial fluid of the system of the body. So once the body can no longer create enough mucus to buffer the acidosis, then the cell wall gets weak and they start to stick together and they get gloopy and that forms a tumor. So I'm saying, so they always sell it to you as if cancer can't survive in an alkaline state, as if it's this like little beastie that goes in, and then if you're alkaline, it can't live there. But it's because in an alkaline state, when the body's alkaline, the cells don't coagulate. They don't burn and melt and stick to each other.
Makes sense.
Makes sense to me, yeah. I mean, that might not be the modern medical take.
I'm sure we'll get told if it's not from a science perspective. So for hundreds and hundreds of years, we've been eating meat.
Yeah, so we've been told again.
Okay, I'm with you. I was just going to say, why do you think now that this movement is so big?
What, the vegan thing?
Vegan movement. Yeah. I mean, the internet has helped with it, as with anything in life, to spread message, to spread information.
Yeah. I just think it's rational. It's like the foundation, base level, moral, rational way of living as a human. Like you can't. I'm going to say something heavy now that people might really get pissed off about, and I'm not calling people that eat meat pedophiles directly, because obviously a pedophile knows what they're doing, and your average person, like some of the people I love most in the world, eat meat. My dad, my stepmom, my nieces, nephews, cousins.
Well, I think 95% of the planet eat meat.
Yeah, so I'm not I'm not saying that I don't have love for people that eat meat, and I'm not saying that people that eat meat are directly on the same level as a pedophile. But what makes, we agree that pedophilia is probably the most abhorrent and disgusting thing in our society. Mm-hmm. Yeah, what makes it so? What makes it so wrong? What's the fundamental reason that is so wrong?
The age of the person. The fact they're children.
So innocence.
Innocence.
So abuse of innocence.
Yeah.
Abuse of innocence.
Yes.
Is the fundamental thing that makes the most abhorred thing in our society the most abhorred thing in our society.
Yep.
You're doing something, you're abusing something that can't defend itself because you want its body. What is eating meat if it's not that?
I think that's a stretch, but I hear what you're saying.
But an animal's innocent, isn't it? It's got ears, eyes, nose, mouth, everything else. Like a dog. Like if you're not talking about pigs and cows and things that you want to eat, but like a dog, you wouldn't go and punch the dog in the head.
You wouldn't, but you also...
Why?
You're also programmed not to make the connection between
but is that
a cow and a steak. And whereas a dog's your pet, your cat. Yeah. I have a cat that lives at home with me.
Yeah,
I've never imagined skinning it, eating it.
But why has that cat got any more of a right to life than a cow? What makes that?
I guess
and then why don't? I'm saying that the most innocent animals, that like the sheep, the chickens, the pigs, the cows, they're really beautiful, kind, nice, soft animals. They don't run away. And then you just abuse them because you want to eat their body.
Can we sustain all of us on this planet without eating animals?
Yeah, mate. Fruit grows from trees, doesn't it? Like if you think about the amount of water, the amount of grain,
whole ecosystem, everything, would it work if everyone ate veg?
Because the human's not biologically designed to eat meat at all. So what's happening at the moment is wrong.
How can you say that though?
Because the bowel, the jaw, the teeth, the biology. Your biology is that of a frugivorous creature, like a great ape. Not that I believe or buy into evolution at all either. Because that's some fucking Darwinian Masonic shit that goes with your global explosion. I'm not about that, but you can see distinct differences between carnivorous animals, omnivores, herbivores, and frugivorous species. Do you know what I mean? Like a horse is a herbivore. It's got flat teeth and just sits there grinding fucking grass all day. But a human, we're supposed to eat fruit, mate. You're supposed to eat fruit and vegetation. Even the vegetation's arguable because there's a whole movement with the vegan thing of raw veganism, which I agree with fully. But with like certain vegetables are actually better for you once they've been cooked because you break some of the starch down into sugars that can then actually be used. Do you know what I mean? But of course it's sustainable. It's not sustainable when you think of how much water it takes to feed a cow. Or how much grain. A cow shouldn't even eat grain, it should eat grass. But half the beef that you people are eating is fed on genetically modified grain, a lot of it. Mm-hmm. So they're destroying the Amazon to grow genetically modified grain to feed these cows, like however many breakfasts and dinners it takes to get a cow to the size that you want it, to give you one dinner. Whereas if you ate the grain, you could actually, you could solve world hunger on just a portion of the grain that they wrongly feed the cows in just the United States.
But, mate, I've read studies about grain being bad for you.
Because it's terrible. Yeah, you don't want to eat grain, 100%. But my point is, you're saying is it sustainable? So my point is that you're feeding more food to the animal.
I hear you.
Do you know what I'm saying? Of course it's sustainable. It's what the meat thing isn't sustainable.
We're feeding more to the animals than we would consume ourselves if we just didn't eat the animals.
100%. And then when you're talking about fruit or like mushroom's the fruiting body of mycelium, or then fruit is the fruiting body of whatever plant. Like it grows, it wants to be eaten. When you eat a fruit, you spread the seed of the plant. So that's life. You're eating something that's still alive. It's still got like color in it. You know, we were talking last time about the human thing, and obviously we'll talk in a second about the fucking the etymology in English and everything.
The wordplay.
But we need to eat color. Yeah, so you want different colored foods like red, yellow, purple, green. Like when you're eating the meat is just it's dead, mate. It's dead. Like when you see a fucking bit of roadkill and if you see a fox that's been smashed with a car, your instinct isn't like, oh fucking hell, yeah, it's a bit. I'll get that. It saves a couple of quid.
You wouldn't know where.
You do it. You think, oh, poor little thing. Oh, what a mess. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? But then you've been programmed to believe that you're supposed to eat the flesh of a fucking dead animal. Do you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's not right. Like it's not moral.
Moral is one thing, right? So there's a few arguments.
It's not moral, it's not rational.
I have other vegan friends, Steve being one of them. Yeah. So there's the moral element that I hear people talk about. There's the health element that I hear people talk about. And then there's the kind of saving the planet, the CO2 emissions.
Yeah, so it ticks all three boxes, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, but they're all just different arguments. Like, is there any, I mean, I'm going to say proof, but how do you prove anything?
Just fucking...
The only way you can study it, I guess, is 2 people are born.
Well, just do it. Just do it yourself. Like, I look at a lot of people I went to school with at my age that look a lot worse than I am. I mean, it's anecdotal, but just the way I feel compared to how I felt in the past.
You put that down to because you don't eat meat?
Yeah, 100%. Mate, you are what you eat. You're eating dead flesh. It's dead. And it's like, get this, yeah. So an animal, even a vulture, scavenger, will only eat the meat a certain period of time after it's dead, yeah. Even a vulture, a scavenger. That's what I'm saying. So, but you, as a human, that cow you're eating, I don't know, I mean, again, comments, do what you want, tell me how it is. But that could be like 2-3 weeks old. Like you know what I'm saying? They kill the cow, then they fucking skin it, process it, do whatever they do. Then it gets injected with a load of crap to fucking stop it from decomposing. So there's no such thing as red meat, really. Like when you're buying a steak, the only reason that's still red is because they put something in it called sulfur dioxide that turns it red. So
everyone thinks it's blood, but it's not.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So if you cut your hand off, within 2 hours, it'd be like yellowy fucking brown hanging. Mm-hmm. But they inject a load of gear into it, freeze it, and then it sits, I don't know how long it takes to get from the butcher's along however many countries or wherever it comes from to get to the supermarket, how long it sits in the freezer out the back while the stuff there fucking sells. And after another few days, another few weeks, however long it is until you buy it, put it in your fridge, leave it another few days. And then before you eat this thing that died like 3 weeks ago, you burn it. You cook the shit out of it so it doesn't fucking kill you. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, when you explain it like that, it just sounds a bit mental.
It's just a gelatinous piece of empty flesh that should have been in the ground 3 weeks ago, breaking down. Like when a fucking a cat or a fucking lion, something, a lion is a cat, obviously. Like it bites, it rips, it swallows, and it's still getting the life force out of that animal. Like it's eating a live animal. And the act of it eating it makes it dead. But you're eating a dead, preserved bit of carcass that has been in the fucking supermarket for God knows how long. So I'm saying? Yeah. And then you can't, like, how the fuck is that good for you? You know what I'm saying? If you just think about it rationally.
I don't know if it's good, but I also don't know if it's bad.
It's bad. It's terrible for you. Of course it's terrible for you. How can you eat? So you're eating rubbish. You're eating something that's supposed to be breaking down. It's rotting. So the reason they've got a short bowel is so the flesh doesn't putrefy in their gut. But the human's got a long bowel. So that stuff has already been putrefying. You've burnt it up to the point where there's no... Like the majority of meat is totally riddled with parasites. You ever seen the thing with the salmon? They put a bit of Coca-Cola on it and all the worms come out and stuff. Yeah. So if you're eating meat, you have got parasites in you.
So where do you get your veg from? Or your food that you
whatever eat? Shop, like whatever. I try, if I can get organic, I'll get organic. Otherwise, Waitrose are my favourite, to be honest. Shout out Waitrose. Best.
No, because obviously all the vegetables and fruit are sprayed with shit as well.
Yeah, 100%.
Stop bugs eating.
Yeah, 100%. The whole thing's fucked, whichever way you look at it.
That's what I'm saying. So where?
Morality and rationality. So it's like...
is there such thing as morality?
Yeah, of course there is.
So let me explain why I said that.
Go on.
If we live in a hologram,
yeah. Well, we don't. It's like the way we don't know what we live in, and the way it seems to project itself would be holographically. But I don't know that we live in a hologram.
I know, but if none of this is reality, it's all like reality.
It is still reality.
Construct.
No, but the reality is a construct. So the reality is the reality, but it operates holographically. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't mean it's any less real or it's fake. Or it's just, it is what it is. But the way it operates is holographically, not necessarily objectively like we've been programmed to believe it is. The truth is none of us know what's going on.
Yeah.
But society's got to a point where it's told you that we do know what's going on. People smarter than you know what's going on. And as an individual, you can't really know because you're too dumb. But what I'm saying is that overall, we don't know what's going on. But as an individual, you can piece a few basic things together through your own observation and experience that can then lend you to potentially build a version of reality where you kind of maybe understand what might be going on. Mm-hmm. But I think the nature of it overall is that it can't be understood. And that's why we're in here doing it.
I think the fundamental, what I took away from episode 1 that we did was, I actually wholeheartedly agree with, was you saying, always question why.
Yeah.
And we're programmed not to question why.
Yeah.
That element I completely agree with.
Yeah.
And we were saying earlier before the show that I found it really interesting to hear people literally go, Don't listen to him. He's covered in tattoos.
Yeah, no.
What the fuck?
It's hilarious. And they're the same people that will kick off that I've got a swastika on my head.
The
irony is
like
painful.
If someone said, "Don't listen to him. He's black. He's white. He's
you kick right off. Yeah.
You'd go mental.
But you can't do it because I've got ears like a spaniel.
Don't
listen to the Lizard King. I like that one. I'll take that one.
I mean,
but my point is, of course, there's something.
I have friends that became vegan a few years ago, preached about it loads to me.
Yeah.
And they're all eating meat again now.
But they were never vegan. So vegan's not a diet, yeah. The where people are like confusing it.
Because of health issues as well, may I add.
Yeah, but the veganism's not a diet. Veganism's a moral stance. So vegan, the definition, so they've muddied the water now with this plant-based stuff, like veganism and plant-based, and they're pushing it as some type of agenda. Plant-based isn't plants like grown plants. Plants is like factory. You know, like when you go on site, the diggers
like
are called
machinery.
Machinery. So that's plant-based. That's machine-based. It's fake.
So that's the fake burgers you
toxic,
get. Fake,
terrible. Do not eat it. Crap. Yeah.
Tastes quite nice. But...
Yeah, but that will fuck you up as much, if not more, potentially than the meat. Yeah. That's not good. So these people they never went vegan. They changed their diet to correlate with a vegan viewpoint. But if they've gone back, you don't go back. You're either vegan and you view yourself as equal to everything else, and you don't have the right to take the life of something.
But doesn't it then become, if you do it the way you do it, it's kind of a religion, though? A faith.
How?
It's a set of beliefs that you live by.
It's kind of truth, though, isn't it? Like, you know that but you don't want to be killed, do you? You don't want someone to kill your mum and eat her, do you?
No.
Why?
I don't know if I can make the connection with that.
But why? Why not? Because you put yourself above all the creatures. But if you've got eyes, ears, nose, mouth, like, you perceive reality. They've got sense organs. They've got a nervous system. So, like, why put yourself above something? You assume that you have a more intricate understanding of reality than the cat.
Yeah.
But the cat's got eyes that see better than you. Do you know what I'm saying? The cat can fucking jump higher than you and do things you can't do. So then what makes you think that you're more important than any other animal?
I guess for most of society, it would just be
programming
and that thing we always do. That's just how it's always been.
Yeah, but it's not how it's always been. It's how you were told it's always been.
But that's the kind of get out, isn't it? If you ask anyone at work, anyone about why they do the things they do, that's how it is.
Yeah, but right now, between me and you, why do you think you're more important than a cow or a pig? Why, if you look at them in the eye and you see what they go through, and is killing wrong?
Yes,
but then not if you want to eat the animal.
I don't even kill an ant, but I'd eat an animal. How
That's
crazy
what I'm saying,
is that?
Though. But there's something going on in you. You're living in a disparity like this. You're not living in truth. You're living in like.
So if we find a spider at home, whatever, most people kill it or a fly. I'll catch it and put it outside.
Course, leave it. Let it do its thing. Now, why should you? But then
I'd eat steak.
But you've half connected the dots, but then you've obviously the programming strong enough to keep you eating the steak.
If I'm being honest with myself, like Steve always sends me these mad videos on Instagram, and a couple of times I've threatened to block him because I just don't want to see it. I've never watched What the Health.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest with myself, and this might be similar to most people listening, I'm purposely being ignorant to it.
Yeah, but then is that
right?
Right?
Because probably not. No. Because I also know, my rational mind, I know what I can be like. I know how kind I can be at times. So I think if I actually know maybe what's going on with these animals, I'm never going to be able to eat one again.
No, but then why if you know in your head or your heart or wherever you feel in it that's the case, how can you not watch it? Do you know what I mean? Like, how could, if you know that's the case and you're only not watching it because there's going to be some mad suffering and pain that you can stop? Like, there's a lot of the vegan things that I don't agree with when they're going to restaurants calling people murderers when they're just having their dinner, and I'm not about that. Do you know what I mean? The people you don't know, like before I stopped doing, I didn't know. It took me actually not doing it for a while for me to go, fucking hell. Do you know what I mean? Have like the revelation or the realization. So like going into a restaurant screaming at people that eat meat that they're murderers is like, that's not right. But when the only real way, and even like when they go to the farms and they're trying to like rescue animals and stuff.
I've seen the videos.
You're pissing in the wind. You're literally fucking, you're going to save that one. And then there's another one they're going to buy to go and kill it. The only way of making any change is having a like one-to-one dialogue and getting through the programming with someone and making them realize like, oh yeah, I'm not more important than anything else. Like, it's arrogant and it's egotistical to think that your life has more worth than anybody else's life. And then when I say anybody else, it's
including animals.
Body else. They have a body, they have a sense organ, they have a central nervous system, they've got sense organs. Like, do you know what I'm saying? They are body.
How far down does that go? So fish?
Well, yeah, all of them, man. Just leave it alone. Just fucking, if it grows, if it comes from a fucking tree, you can get berries.
What about
nuts.
eggs?
It's like a chicken's period, bro. Or it's an ova. They'll be in the comments, it's not a period, it's an ova. Either way, a chicken has one hole that it pisses.
But technically, it's got no mouth, eyes, ears, all the stuff you said.
No, but it's like eating a turd, isn't it?
Milk?
No, it's like eating a turd. So, like, a turd, like an egg's, unless an egg, if it's fucking unfertilized, is a period, and an egg that's fertilized is an abortion. The chicken's got one hole it pisses and shits from. So it does waste product, fucking waste product. Oh, perfect human food. Another shit, another piss. Oh, perfect human food. Like, it's not rational. I mean, if you've got your own chickens, yeah, and you want to eat their periods, morally, it's on you, whatever. But it's not rational. Yeah, morally okay. Rationally, why would you want to eat the chicken's blob? It doesn't make any sense. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes, if you can connect it to be that.
But
and not a lovely egg. If you
what
know,
else
it
is
tastes
it, bro?
good.
What else is it, though? Do you know what I mean?
Well, I had 2 eggs this morning.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I don't mind.
The other thing is, like, what about from a sustainability? And what I mean by that is you hear Joe Rogan talking about going out once every 6 months and hunting down an elk with his bow and arrow.
It's dark.
But eating it nose to tail.
It's dark. It's just dark. What they've done with that is they've convinced you that it's actually less rock. So, like, Deirdre that goes to Tesco's to buy some chicken, she's buying a product. It's been packaged. She's totally separated from what's going on. She doesn't know. She's been told it's food. She's buying it, eating her food, doing whatever. But they've now programmed you to think that she's the cunt because she doesn't kill it and she doesn't do all this, that, and the other. But they wake up in the morning. They've spent a lot of money on seriously expensive gear.
Yeah.
Wake up early doors to go lay in mud to watch a majestic creature bound its way through the field. And they're going to bolt it in the fucking head, rip its fucking skin off, gut it, and then eat its flesh. And that's supposed to be more respected. I don't buy it personally. No. It's darkness, bro. It's just fucking dark. You're not supposed. You don't have any right to kill that fucking elk or that deer any more than you do, pardon me, to kill the spider or the ant. And if you, in your mind, don't want to kill spiders because you have some sort of like moral obligation in yourself, you need to check the rest of your head. Do you know what I mean? You've got to work it out because it don't make any sense. It's totally and utterly irrational. It doesn't make any sense.
And I hear what you're saying about the connection thing, isn't it? I just don't.
Yeah, because you don't want to.
I'm being ignorant to it myself.
But then you can't choose to be ignorant. Like, you're either ignorant or you're not. And you're not ignorant because you're trying to choose to be ignorant. So at some point, you just got to check it out, innit? Just got to have a look into it.
Just thought of not having a...
It's just addiction, though, isn't it?
Like chicken, mate. Chicken.
Yeah, I mean, I used to fucking absolutely love Nando's and stuff but the flavors that you're after aren't the meat. Like, the meat's just a gelatinous white piece of shit.
Yeah.
And they put jerk on it. They put the powders. So like, I can have a bit of tofu, which again is probably just as fucking shit for you as some fucking chicken with some. Do you know what I mean? Even if it's organic soy, it's some soy. It's all just crap, whatever. But the point is, like, it's like just living as fucking well as you can and not doing harm to others. It's not specifically about, like, mate, if it was the worst thing in the world to do for me, if I had to be vegan and it slowly killed me, so be it. Do you know what I'm saying? So
that's how strongly you feel about it.
Well, I can't, mate. I don't have any right over anything else in reality. And as soon as you do, as soon as you think you do, you're a cunt. You know what I mean? You don't have any more right over any other animal, do you? You can't. What makes you king? Because you can.
Top of the food chain.
Paedophile. They do what they want, top of the food chain.
No.
But do you see the connection, though?
Yeah.
You see the connection, but they're abusing something innocent for its body.
Yeah, but they're not normal. They're unwell.
Well, no, totally. But I'm saying
unwell,
I'm saying that eating meat is a mental illness.
Really?
Yeah,
Go as far as that?
I'd go as far as saying it's a disparity. It doesn't. A rational, moral human, once it's analysed properly, just wouldn't do it.
How do we change that, though?
You just stop doing it. Just stop buying it. Just eat some fucking fruit.
Yeah, but I'm one person.
Well, yeah, I'm one person. And we spoke to however many thousands of people on here. And then, but you stop. And then 2 other people that you tell stop. 2 other people that they tell stop. And then a minute, it doesn't happen. Supply and demand is the only thing that dictates the reality we're in. So you couldn't go and kill the animal, but by buying it, you kill the animal. So you are killing the animal. Do you know what I mean? And it only stops. Like going and screaming at people eating dinner, that's wrong. Going to the factory, these people are just running businesses and they don't know what they're doing. But then if you can just chat to enough people to the point where that business is no longer in demand, people find new jobs. Do you know what I mean? But it stops with you. It's your fault. You personally have to take responsibility for everything that happens. Do you know what I mean? So if you don't watch Dominion, my friend, there's a website, www.don'twatch.org. A friend of mine, Dim, has gone in and videoed the things that go down. And I don't know who said it, but there's a quotation somewhere that says if slaughterhouses had glass walls, everybody would be vegetarian. Because you can't, mate. I got in trouble. There's a butcher's opposite my tattoo shop, and I got nothing against them. They're doing their business, everything. Just everyone's at where they're at. But one of the days I'd come out, and then the guy's got a fucking half a pig cut from its nose to its tail, with all its ribs and everything, bigger than me, slung over his shoulder, and I'm like, fucking raw. Do you know what I mean? I'm like out the door videoing it, just like,
it does look a bit barbaric.
A bit barbaric. Bro, it's half a fucking animal your size just slung over your shoulder, and you're like, yeah, it's food, isn't it? But it's not food, is it? It was a creature that was doing its thing, and you've stopped it doing its thing so you can eat its body. So you can eat its body. Do you know what I mean? Like
I mean, there's so much argument between nutrition as well, right? As in,
but nutrition, like, come on. You eat, everyone knows eating your fruits and veggies is good for you.
Yeah.
Everyone knows eating too much red meat is bad for you. So everything between that is just like...
But too much veg is bad for you. Of the same type.
Too much veg potentially is bad for you because of the starch, but too much fruit, it's not going to happen.
You have too much fruit, mate, you'll be diabetic.
No, you wouldn't. The fructose doesn't require insulin to be processed. Glucose does. Google it.
I don't need to Google it because I know that.
I'm just, fact. They like that one. They like it when I say fact after things.
Yeah, I'm just trying to antagonise you. Because my old man nearly ended up pre-diabetic from his diet.
Yeah, but it's because he'd be eating processed sugars and crap.
Well, it was,
no one's given themselves diabetes from eating too much fruit.
No one. The doctor actually said honey. Interestingly, which I thought, I did a bit of research on that. I thought honey would not create the same thing inside the body once you consume it, but apparently it does. Same as sugar. Still spikes your insulin.
Yeah, I can imagine it does. It's sweet, isn't it? I mean,
it's quite natural.
My girlfriend's actually type 1 diabetic at the moment. She's been told she's type 1 diabetic, and we're trying to work it out with
So she still has to eat as much fruit as she wants, right? Because the GP would say no, because they said no to my dad. So I did a bit of research to find out what you said.
Yeah, we're trying to work it out now with her, and because at one point she was just having salads, like greens and salads, and then it was still going up, and we're like, she's had nothing. She literally had nothing, had a salad, and then in the end, I don't know what, we've done some research and found out, and obviously the salad converts to glucose, which will spike the blood sugar, and apparently the fruit doesn't. So then after dinner, she'll have like a date or like a bit of, I mean, if she goes too mad with the fruit, it will still bring it up ultimately. Yeah. But the idea that you can turn yourself diabetic from eating too much fruit is...
They did tell my old man to, because what his portion control was bad. So like, if you're meant to have, I don't know, a handful of...
Mate, I'll eat 6 to 8 bananas. I'll have fucking 2 papaya. Mate, my lunchbox will literally be like, 4 or 5 bananas, which I may have a couple of them in a smoothie with some some nutritional powders or whatever. 2 papayas, a fucking thing of grapes, box of cherries. I just smash it. I'll go hard. I won't eat until like fucking 3-4 o'clock.
So like intermittent fasting.
Yeah, and then just smash as much fruit as possible.
What's a day in food look like for you then?
For me, well, it depends.
So you have fruit for breakfast.
If I'm working, I'll try and hold the fast out as long as possible, and then I won't eat before 1 o'clock. I'll try and hold it out till 3-4. Have a large box of fruit, and I've been into this like sprouted spelt loaf, which is just this like really soft sprouted loaf, which, and I have a bit of cashew cheese, and I've got a friend of mine that makes onion and garlic free pickle. And I'll have a cheese and pickle open sandwich after having a load of fruit. And then a few hours later
cheese?
for dinner, vegan cheese, cashews, made from cashews, fermented, no breast milk, no pus.
And then for dinner?
My girlfriend will normally make us some sort of like vegetable, sometimes curry, lentils, dal, or like Mediterranean vegetables, just like roasted off. Or she would do this like flatbread out of oats, blend the oats up, put water in, you make a flatbread out of it, put a bit of the vegan cheese, and it's kind of like a vegan-y pizza thing. Or there's a few restaurants we go to. There's a place up in Southampton called Babaji's, and they do a butter tofu curry, not real butter.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's just, mate, there's loads and loads of stuff.
I always find friends of mine that have sort of put it in, converted to veganism. To the religion. They said the hardest thing in the beginning is actually just changing your lifestyle, like where to eat, what to buy from the supermarket. It's a social thing. Yeah, how 100%. To do all that kind of stuff.
Now it's at a level where it's like, I mean, if you want to still eat crap, if you're eating sausages, burgers, and different bits of crap, you can still eat all that crap. And if you're going to be unwell, you're going to be unwell.
Deep fried, you can eat all that shit, yeah.
But then if you can eat, I mean, it's hard getting decent organic produce. It's hard getting ripe fruit. It's hard. It's just what it is. But you just got to go through life and do your best. And I think as long as you're not hurting somebody else, then it's a good start.
You think it's a trend? Because it's quite trendy at the moment to be a vegan.
I don't know. I think it's being made out to be a trend for the sake of getting people off of it. I think so. Like, you can't fully understand yourself as divinity while your body's fueled on the fucking tortured, the remains of tortured animals. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? You can't fully understand love, compassion, decency, kindness, and all these things when the vehicle that you use to navigate your experience in this realm is built of the opposite of that.
Okay, let me be devil's advocate to you.
Go on.
Where do you draw the line morally? Because you're standing from a moral stance. Which
if I tread in a snail accidentally, I'm really sorry, mate.
Does your car have leather seats?
No, I don't do that.
So you wouldn't buy one with leather seats?
No, I mean,
because they're still being skinned, right?
Yeah. So I mean,
do you see what I mean? Like, where's
I've got some,
because we've got to live in this world as well.
Yeah,
so the food element. Okay, let's say we can.
So I personally, I don't have any. I won't have no fish, no eggs, no honey, no leather, no wool, no silk. I don't do any of it at all. If it's come from an animal, I won't touch it at all.
So what socks you got on there?
I don't have any socks on today, mate. I'm wearing flip flops.
Should have clocked that, shouldn't I?
And cotton, organic cotton is the way forward. And then maybe there's going to be a load of fucking hubbub about how bad cotton is and blah blah. Mm-hmm. But we got to do what we can do. And hemp, cotton, bamboo. There's loads of plant fibers.
Yeah.
And like I said, you accidentally tread on a snail or a worm or something. I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to do that. Yeah, but my intent is not to hurt anything. Do you know what I mean? And your life. I mean, me and you are here today doing the day, how many other beings does it take for me just to go about my day? How many lives does it cost for me just to fucking have a poo?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You're literally you kill something so you can poo it out. Do you know what I mean? Mm. You murder something that was having an experience like you. It was enjoying the air, eating the grass, doing its thing. And then it got brutally tortured and murdered so you could eat it and poo it out when you could just eat some fruit. Do you know what I mean? Or you could have a fucking dal. There's loads of lovely foods. But people think as well, you're cutting out a load of food, but you're not. You're cutting out like 4 bits of carcass, like pig, sheep, fucking chicken. And I mean, people eat more than that, obviously, but like your average person in the West is eating the flesh of 4 animals, flavoring it with different herbs and thinking that they're eating a diverse diet.
You know, I was just thinking then, bit of a deep one, but if everyone thought like you, let's say,
it'd be really boring, wouldn't it?
From a moral perspective,
just wouldn't even have to talk, would you? You'd just go.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So if everybody had the same stance, would the world go round? No.
Yeah, it would. Well, not
because
if it was exactly the same, then you'd all just be me, and it would be really boring. Yeah, but ultimately, morally, if people just a vegan person,
is everything though, from vegan to money.
But there ain't going to be a vegan, a genuine vegan, not someone that just eats a vegan diet, but someone that genuinely has clocked themselves as not above anything else, isn't going to be a paedophile. They're not going to be a murderer. They're not going to be a rapist. Like, I'm not going to fucking squash a spider. I'm not going to go and rape a woman. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're consuming,
that's a big statement.
That's true. Think about
what you're telling me. If I googled now, I wouldn't find any vegan murderers,
you
vegan
might find someone that's
pedophiles,
totally. But you think about the term itself. You know, what you said to me earlier on. Okay, I had some vegan friends and now not vegan. They weren't vegan. If you're vegan, it's a moral stance. Like it's a way of living. It's not a diet. It's something you're like, okay, I'm not going to hurt anything else. And if I can help it, I will, as best I can, try not to partake in the purchasing or the use of anything else that has caused another creature to suffer. So if that's your moral stance, by definition, you wouldn't rape anybody. By definition, you wouldn't fucking kill anybody. By definition.
Yeah, of course.
It's a fact.
You
Fact.
to the camera. It's
Yeah, they love it. I was just fucking, that really pissed
No,
off.
I hear what you're saying. You couldn't do those things if you lived like that.
No,
it's
that's
impossible.
my point. And so if you're willing to murder multiple animals a day, not personally, but if you're willing to consume the result of murder daily, then the way your psyche, your brain, your heart, your nervous, everything's relevant. It's all connected to each other. Mind, body, and spirit are connected. So if you're consuming a dense, heavy, negative energy pattern that has required the torment and pain and suffering of another creature, why do you think most people are depressed? Why do you think everyone's stressed the fuck? Do you know what I mean? A lot of these blokes coming out with the mental health thing, these big roided up blokes that have like, I'd go as far as saying, stop eating all the carcass, drink some clean distilled water and just see how you're feeling a couple of months afterwards. I'd say it's the best basic thing, like sorting your diet out and your environment will fix everything else. Do you know what I mean? And while you're consuming pain and suffering, you are what you eat. You can't consume something that required the suffering of another creature and then expect it not to fuck you up. So me and you sat here now are chemically, biologically, a certain arrangement of chemicals, So a certain level of serotonin, dopamine, I don't know. I'm not a scientist, I'm a tattoo artist.
Yeah.
So you
get that t-shirt, mate.
Yeah, I should have that on my website. Yeah. So if somebody come in here, when I'm tattooing somebody, if I'm tattooing you, I'm a different bag of chemicals to you. Yeah, like we're in the same environment, same music, same incense, same thing. But because you're undergoing stress and pain, your body's got a different level of cortisol or adrenaline or whatever, the dopamine levels, serotonin, whatever it is, than me. If somebody come in the room then with a fucking shotgun and put it in your mouth, freeze, flight or fight, all out fucking shit yourself, working majority of the brain turns off, adrenaline pumping through the system, you're now a completely different bag of chemicals. So like them animals, when they're like, very few of them are as well, by the way, but when they are grass fed out in the field doing their thing, mellow, chilled bag of chemicals. Once it gets put into a fucking car and they starve them, obviously they don't want as much, they don't want poo inside your meat. There is poo inside all the meat that you eat by the time it's killed, but they try and minimize the amount of poo it has in it when they kill it. Yeah. So they starve it. So the animal's stressed straight away. Then it gets put in a vehicle it's never been in, carried down a motorway. It goes in a line and watches the other cows it's been munching grass with get slaughtered in front of it. By the time it dies, it's fucking terrified. So its bag of chemicals is like, it's fucked. It's like high stress chemicals. And then you leave it, inject a load of gear into it to preserve it, a load of sulfur dioxide, freeze the fucking thing, then burn the fucking thing, and then you eat it. And then you wonder why you're stressed and why you're depressed and why your head's fucked. It's like you're consuming another being, another fucking...
Do you believe, though, their stress or their energy through their dead carcass can transfer to you?
Why are you eating it? You're eating it for energy, aren't you?
I know, but not that. You're eating it for calories, which turn into... which you use as energy.
No, the energy's in it. The
calories
just a term.
You know, they obviously, that fear state they have probably before they die.
Yeah,
that can't be consumed. That won't come through. Of course it can, because it's chemical. The body is chemicals. It's an alchemical process. Yeah. So the sound and light condense itself into fucking some sort of chemicals. So your whole body is a bag of chemicals. The tissue that you eat, if you take a tissue sample, you'll have a certain level of dopamine and things. So same as your blood in a way.
Exactly. So by the time it fucking dies, it has been transmutated into stress hormones. No, it's just a fucking lump of fucking shit that should be in the ground. It's the devil. It's darkness. It's not going to do you in any way, shape or form any good ever. But again, if you want to go back to like the mad shit we were talking about last time about the elite and the control and why would they want to, that's another major thing. Like if reality is like an educational game of sorts, and we're here to like learn about ourselves and hopefully align ourselves with God or good, everything that is good, you know that killing something isn't good. Do you know what I'm saying? And then killing something that isn't even trying to kill you, it was just trying to do its life. It's arrogance, it's ego. And then you're consuming the result. Everything is everything. So you can't get away. The thing that you're eating is a result of what it's been through to get to the point of you eating it. And then you consume the result of that and express the result of that in your day-to-day life as Thai.
Yeah. Interesting way of thinking about it. The transfer of kind of, I'm just thinking about like when I have blood tests, every 6 months I have a blood test, right?
Yeah.
I'm on TRT. And there's times when I have a blood test when I'm going through a really stressful time.
TRT is like legal roids.
Yeah, basically testosterone replacement therapy. Yeah. Because my body don't produce it enough. Mate, talk to me about tap water. Yeah. You just mentioned it then. You don't drink tap water then? No. Do you drink bottled water?
I try not to as well with a bottle of water, but sometimes, again, reality is just reality. I'd drink bottled water than not. Over tap water. I drink tap water over no water.
I'm with you.
Ultimately,
a survival thing, though, isn't it?
Yeah, mate. A water distiller is, in my mind, the most rational way of cleaning water. So you can get them off fucking Amazon. They're like 110 to 150 quid. Get one with a glass jar, and it literally just boils the water. There's a fan that collects the steam. So by the time you test the water with a TDS meter, which is total dissolved solids meter, there's nothing in the water. And there's obviously a school of thought that says that it leaches minerals from the body because water becomes negatively charged when there's no minerals in it, and that's supposed to like deplete your system. But it's wrong. Your body, you're supposed to your body can't consume inorganic minerals. Yeah, so you can't eat a spoonful of dirt and get anything from it. You need the plant to pull the inorganic minerals up into it, create a bioorganic version of that for you to consume and actually assimilate. So mineral water is rock minerals. There's no plant minerals in mineral water. It's the minerals that have been picked up from the spring bed or whatever it is. So it actually just, if you look in your average kettle, especially around here, the water's fucking terrible.
It's really bad.
That white crust that you get in it is like, they'll go, it's limescale. Well, it'll be limescale, calcium, fluoride. It's a load of crap that ultimately your body doesn't require. So in my mind, I mean, RO water is good as well. And you're trying to consume something with the least amount of bits of shit in it. You just want clean, proper water. Like if you've got a ultrasonic machine, an autoclave machine, like with the tattoo, we used to, before the disposable stuff, we used to have autoclave. And then if you put tap water or mineral water into the autoclave, because it's a heating element, it would fuck it. But your system is a heating element. Do you know what I mean? Your body's a thermogenic machine. So if you're consuming this, you're sweating out all the vapor, all the heavy shit in the water starts to accumulate on the bones, on the joints. So they reckon like mineral water or highly mineralized water is one of the leading causes of arthritis in later life.
Really?
So yeah, and because the distilled water is negatively charged, the school of thought that I go by would be that as you consume that, it draws any of the inorganic minerals from the system. It can't draw the organic minerals from the system because the body's already assimilating the organic minerals into tissue. Whereas this stuff is being stored on bone. Or
do you exercise still?
Every day.
Do you ever take electrolytes?
Salt.
But so you do it manually yourself? You wouldn't buy a packet and
sea salt? No, I don't do that. The only thing is I take. Why I think?
Do you take any supplements?
I do.
Tablets?
The main things that I take are Shilajit, like a high quality Shilajit, which is.
Never heard of that.
So it's something that comes from the Himalayas, the Altai, Siberian mountain. Altai might be the Siberian mountain. So over 10,000 foot in the summer, this black tar oozes out at the top of the mountain. And that's an accumulation of all the decomposing plants that have like lived, died, and then worked their ways down into the rock. And it's depending on where you get it from, depends on the types of minerals that it has in it. Mm-hmm. But it has an accumulation of minerals and plant bioorganic minerals, not rock minerals, and fulvic acid and humic acid. And fulvic and humic acid are supposed to help break down the food nutriment to a point where it can be absorbed by the cell. So in the morning, I'll have a spoonful of Shilajit And I've just started taking this lion's mane mushroom, which is supposed to be it's supposed to be good for cognition.
I've heard lots about lion's mane.
Yeah, I knew I was coming on here and I thought, fucking hell, I better get my shit together. So now I've got lion's mane mushroom, reishi, and I've got some reishi spores as well. So there's like 7 main mushrooms that are like, I think it's like cordyceps, lion's mane, reishi, chaga.
So you don't take any of like the traditional like multivitamin, or you wouldn't take cod liver oil because obviously it's
animal
non-vegan.
Fish. Yeah. So
vitamin D because there's no sun, all that kind of shit.
You want naturally occurring versions of those things because your body again can't, but just base vitamins on a shelf. They're just like products. They're not going to do anything more in your body than they're going to do in that fucking thing. Whereas if it's grown or is a result of nature, the mushroom's the fruit embodied of mycelium, and the mycelium, like I said before, is like the nervous system of the organism. So it makes rational sense to me at this thing that grows. And then when you look at like the ancient understanding and names of these mushrooms, they actually correlate with what the modern sort of science is saying is in them. So there's certain like polysaccharides or certain nerve growth factors and things in these mushrooms that correlate with the idea that they would be good for cognition and stuff. So I'm into that. And then I know spirulina anything that's like fucking natural,
as natural as you can get it.
100%.
Do you, Joe? You question everything, right?
I suppose so. Yeah.
I mean, just from last conversation, this conversation,
I
feel like anything that's orthodox that we've kind of grown up thinking is right or normal.
I just want to know if things are right or not. Yeah.
You seem to question everything. Is that not exhausting, mate? Do you not just want to just live sometimes?
Full power. I do live. I just live questioning things.
Do you know what I mean? From like if someone says something or you hear something or you're about to eat something, I feel like you have to question everything before you do it. I
analyze how relevant it is based on rationality and morality. And I'm like, okay, I don't know about that. Sounds interesting. I'll look into that. Or if I'm not that bothered about it, I'm like, sounds like crap.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Or like,
but do you find
life interests me? It's life. Like, what else are we fucking doing?
It is life, but it's like everything you kind of embodies is a very unorthodox.
What's orthodox? Yeah, I suppose.
Unorthodox in
but is that because
society.
I'm trying to be unorthodox, or is it because what we've been told is just nonsense? And then if like,
head to toe tattoo is very unorthodox.
Yeah,
that's nothing to do with your morality. There's nothing to do with being rational mind.
No,
why are you covering tattoos?
My dad had tattoos, and I thought it'd be a cool job. And I was into art as a kid, innit? So it's like that happened. And then if you
just got addicted and couldn't stop.
It's not addicted now. It's like in my mind, you can't do something to someone you're not going to have done to yourself. Yeah, and if I'm in for a penny, in for a pound. And it's like, if I'm
all or nothing.
Well, I'm going to do it or I'm not going to. You doing it or not? Do you know what I mean? If I'm going to fucking tattoo you, you don't want to sit there and let me tattoo your face if I haven't experienced that. Do you know what I mean?
No, I hear you.
You would. I suppose there's loads of fucking artists that haven't got tattoo work, but I don't feel like it's as authentic going to somebody that isn't into the thing that they're into.
No, I get it. If you were picking a PT, you'd want one that generally looks pretty fit and healthy.
Yeah, 100%.
Maybe not physically looking somewhere, but you know that they're fit and you know that they're healthy.
Yeah. I always wondered about like the fat personal trainers. It was just done my head in. But then I was looking at the gym and thinking like, if you were a bit bigger yourself, going to somebody that's totally fucking ripped and shredded might be really intimidating. Mm-hmm. So then someone that's like a bit more in shape than you is more approachable. So I sort of like got my head around that a bit.
I also think like health and physique are a little
two
bit
different things, 100%.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that.
So, you can physically look like an Adonis.
Yeah, but then inside be totally
fucked.
riddled with cancer and fucked because you're eating too much meat.
Fuck off. Too much meat. Let's touch on something here, like psychedelics, right?
Yeah.
You've done them before?
No, never. Yeah. Done a few.
That's
part of the morning mushroom regime normally.
Is
if
it?
I'm not coming
you
here.
microdose?
Yeah, I've just started doing a little microdose here and there. Yeah.
When you say microdose, what dose are we talking?
0.23
per day.
Yeah, but not every fucking day. Like do like 2 or 3 days.
Just days that you feel a bit meh when you get up.
I don't ever really feel a bit meh. Usually quite stoned when I wake up still from the night before. But after a little green tea, I'm back. I feel all right. But I just like the idea that it's apparently the...
so you're floating about there all the time, aren't you?
Yeah.
All right.
The lion's mane mushroom apparently is supposed to work really well with a microdose of psilocybin mushroom.
Yeah.
And I had some, so I thought, I'll just see what...
There's a drink I have every morning, a hot chocolate style drink called Rainbow Dust.
Yeah, okay.
And that's got lion's mane in it, loads of mushrooms basically. All no psychedelic mushrooms, but all like natural mushrooms that are meant to help your brain. I don't know if it works.
I rate it, man. I think the mushrooms are fucking good and they love us.
So there's a phrase that's used with psychedelics quite a lot. I've spoke about it with other people on the podcast. I've had Jeff Lawson on that's done ayahuasca. Jeff is a legend. There's a few. I have some other friends that are into it. They keep inviting me out.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, I want to go to a retreat, but I keep shitting myself about being stuck in my own head and not being able to get out for hours and hours, and
you need
the guilt and the, all the stuff that
you need to face it, man.
But there's a phrase that's used in psychedelic drugs that
I don't like the psychedelic drug thing. I think drugs are pharmaceutical. I think drugs are stuff that are made, and I think the psychedelics, maybe a cactus, maybe a fungus, maybe a herb.
Then a herb.
But it depends. Like cannabis.
Medicine.
Yeah, you could use that term, but cannabis is a herb, mushroom is a fungus, cactus is a fucking
plant,
herb or plant again. Yeah, do you know what I mean? There's different. I think they've created the blanket term
to make it
drug.
sound bad.
Yeah, 100%.
To stop using it.
They've thrown that in with things like cocaine and ketamine and things that are pharmaceuticals, and made people kind of scared of the natural ones, and then.
Well, if you
promote the non-natural
pop back to
ones.
Jeff and some of my other friends, this is a guy that was on medical antidepressants, and started microdosing and hasn't touched them since.
Yeah.
And every time he says he feels like he's having a bit of a moment, he goes and does his ayahuasca once every couple of years, and he's back on track.
It's good to check you back in. 100%.
So there's something that you kept referring to was ego.
Yeah.
You kept referring to ego, and you got to kill your ego or let your ego go. And there's actually a phrase within the psychedelic world that says the phenomenon of ego death is often described as a key feature of psychedelic experience.
Yeah. Okay.
A lot of your thought process, has that come after doing psychedelics? Would you say your kind of awareness and your...
It's definitely helped shape my take on reality 100%. Yeah.
And prior to doing any, did you think any of these kind of what the general society would deem as outlandish theories?
Yeah, I don't know.
You know this holographic stuff you talk about?
I don't think it's that outlandish. I think it's rational and fucking makes most sense.
I'm a rational guy, mate. The holographic stuff is hard to rationalise with.
But how?
Maybe because I don't understand it then.
Yeah, because everything's sound and light, isn't it? And then like everything operates. But my point with the holographic
like the veganism thing is I can rationalise with that. Yeah, it's a living being. We're killing it. We're taking its life away, and they've only got one.
Yeah,
you kind of think.
So you're vegan now. He's rationalised that everybody's on board. So
I'm going to eat celery for the rest of my life.
Watchdon'twatch.org.
But so like, when and what have you done psychedelic wise?
I mean, as far as drugs go, I've taken most drugs, to be honest. So back in my early days, I was just up for the party drug. I didn't take, my dad's always been anti-drugs, anti-smoking, anti-everything, and would have gone totally mental if I'd got involved in any of that, and I respect him. So up until the age of 17, 18, I didn't touch anything. And then I think around 17, I thought, out of pure inquiry, wanted to know what things did. You know, I mean, you're telling me there's something you can take, and then the reality does something different to what it does. I wanted to know, and then went on a bit of a sort of exploration of recreational, or anything I could really get my hands on, just to see what it did, and come to the conclusion that the synthetic powders and crystals and things aren't the one. Like they're not. That's not what you're after. And then the cactus or the mushroom or the cannabis and things, they've got an intelligence pattern that I think wants to work with you, and if you can get over yourself enough to interface with it, it can give you a different perspective.
What psychedelic drugs have you done, or psychedelic medicine, or what have you done? DMT? Done
DMT,
ayahuasca.
Yeah, I've done the ayahuasca, but I mean the DMT and the ayahuasca are the same, and then I'd go as far as saying that the psilocybin and the DMT are arguably similar or the same. So if you look at the psilocybin...
Subject to dosages, I guess.
I mean the actual chemical construct. So like ayahuasca itself is a vine that isn't psychedelic. It's got something in it called an MAO, which is a monoamine oxidase inhibitor. So you've got an enzyme in your stomach called monoamine oxidase. And if you eat a plant that contains DMT, that enzyme breaks it down before it can have an effect on you. So the leaf that they brew, I mean, there's a few different ways they make the ayahuasca brew. There's like mimosa, acacia, there's chacruna, there's different barks and different leaves that they'll mix up with the ayahuasca to create the brew. But the ayahuasca is the enzyme inhibitor that allows the DMT to work in the system. And then the psilocybin molecule, when you look at it, even just, I mean, I don't know, I've never seen it through a microscope myself, but when you look at the picture of it on Google on 2 different phones, psilocybin and then DMT molecule, you can overlay them and they're exactly the same. Apart from the psilocybin's got this little extra thing over here, which I think is the enzyme inhibitor, which allows you to have a longer trip. So the DMT, if you smoke it or inject it, is a very short trip because the body breaks it down really quickly. And
I've heard that's very quick.
Yeah. But
intense.
Yeah, seriously intense. It's like being jet propelled into the peak of a hero dose of mushrooms and then like 5 minutes later coming out of it and you're like, fucking hell. Insane. Really? But I think when you have that experience as well, it becomes clear that there's a lot more going on in this reality than meets the eye. And when you look at the accounts of people that have taken these things, like there's the thing that is experienced is kind of like the same. It's universal. I think a lot of people can like overlay a filter. I think sometimes the information patterns are so far out for people that they overlay like a filter on it, and instead of whatever it is, they'll see an animal or they'll see something else. But I think it does something so beyond human that if you're not ready for that experience, you end up telling yourself something else happened. But I think that the point of them is, I think it's nature's way of giving you a different mapping system. So, we were talking about the last time. Did we touch on the reincarnation thing last time?
I don't think we did.
Holographic thing. So in my mind, like reincarnation is just a given. Like you can't get to this level of complexity without having multiple fucking lives. The idea that you just born, die, and that's it just seems really nihilistic and unlikely to me. But and I think that, what I was saying earlier on about trying to like align your behavior with like God or good. So like God is good. It's the same word with an extra O. And then devil is the evil, the evil or the good. Yeah. So without like man in the sky, red man under the ground, without all that crap, the good is God and the devil is the evil. So if we're like multidimensional holographic beings and all of our behaviors and things that go on in this reality, affect your soul or your vibration. If you do something dark and dirty, your guts sink. If you do something that's like really, do you know what I mean, you connect with your family or something, you elevate. Do you know what I mean, your hairs stand up, you lift. Yeah. So everything that you do has, on some level, subconsciously or emotionally, that kind of effect. Mm-hmm. And that's why you shouldn't eat the fucking meat, because it's dark and evil. But if you get to the point, I think, like you said to me last time, that was it. What happens when you die? And I'm like, I don't fucking know. But there's like something has to happen, and it makes sense to me that if you don't learn the lessons, if you die unconsciously, I always think the reason old people end up all crumpled up and they get back in the fetal position, ready for the next life. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think that if you, there's different levels to it. We were saying about the holographic fucking being, and then the earth being the heart realm. And I think that you go, the cycle and birth and death is you generating a charge or earning a soul. I don't think everybody has a soul innately. I think that you earn your soul.
Really?
Yeah. I think you've heard like the NPC thing, like the non-player characters. A lot of us go about life just, you're not really playing the game. You're just plodding on, doing the thing. And at some point in your life, or in some point of the cycle of birth and death, I think that the awareness then starts to go like, what the fuck am I? Where am I? How is it even happening? What's the point? Is there such thing as you start to question things?
There's a few things I wanted to explore with you. Like, you've done ayahuasca, you've done DMT, you've done hero dose of mushrooms.
Yeah.
What are them? What do you remember from them trips? What did you uncover? What did you?
Well, it's just pure madness.
Because a lot of the shapes you have tattooed on you, I've seen in videos
of trips.
Yeah, I've not done one, but when you look at like what people are trying to describe,
mate,
what the shapes are, the colours are.
There's no point in even trying to fucking verbalize it, because what happens is so fucking far out. Mate, I mean, the DMT especially, and the heavy doses of mushrooms and ayahuasca, you're in a version of the reality that operates. You've got these like, you're it and it's you, but then there's these like deities that are created, geometric deities that show you things. So they're doing some bizarre like undulation or dance, and they're kind of happy that you're there, and they're showing off. I can't even. It's totally and utterly pointless trying to verbalize what happens, because it's so far beyond what we experience as reality. And I mean, the swastika I see a lot in there. There's a lot of these sort of swastika patterns, and whether that is because I'm into it and I create that or not. But
I mean,
I don't know. But when you look at like the temples in Thailand, it's that. When you look at like the Aztec pyramids, it's that. When you look at the pharaohs and the way, it's that. It's like this ancient but modern, bizarre fucking expression of reality, with colors, the depths of colors you've never seen before. It's sounds and tones that you've not heard before. It's bizarre. It's totally bizarre.
But obviously, if we go back to some of the earlier stuff, it's a chemical reaction of something you're putting in your body.
Yeah, it opens up some sort of door.
Or is it another state of consciousness?
Yeah, I think there's like
another bandwidth. You know, we're talking about bandwidth.
Yeah, so that's my point about the reincarnation thing. That brings that back. So like, I think we've got a mapping system to operate as human. You've got like tree pattern, car pattern, human pattern, dog pattern, floor pattern, ceiling pattern, whatever. You've got a certain group of patterns that when you come into contact with whatever frequency it is, you dictate that's a table pattern, that's a chair. But I think that when you die, if you die with only that mapping system, it makes sense that the only way you can go is back here to get the next human life, to work out whatever else you need to work out until you, at some point, there has to be something beyond human, beyond death, I think. Mm-hmm. And I think that the mushrooms, the cactus, the cannabis, the psychedelics plants are like a mechanism for a human to rationally or somewhat rationally transfer their awareness from human to non-human without totally short-circuiting. So if you died and then you had the DMT experience, having never had the DMT experience, you would just go, it's so fucking far out, you'd shit yourself and then you just go out. And then the next time you fucking come around, you'd be a little baby probably thinking fucking hell, and I can't talk, I can't walk, I don't know, you're back human.
Yeah.
But I think if you can build, I think the point of them is to like, if you interface with them enough over your life to the point where that experience becomes something that you're not necessarily scared of anymore, I assume that by the time you die and death comes upon you, that you would have less fear and you'd have a more navigable experience. Do you know what I mean? Like this thing's happening now, because they reckon the DMT, they call it the spirit molecule. Mm-hmm. So they reckon that there's massive releases of it when you're born and when you die and then when you dream. And it's just like, it's too much. It's fucking, and then when you know that and then you experience it, it's just like, okay, I'll be good.
You're what I find interesting with you, obviously, that you don't believe in, I hate using that word now, I've been chatting with you, but religion as such. You don't believe in like heaven, hell, God, devil, all that stuff.
Nah.
But you believe in reincarnation, which is quite interesting.
Yeah, not
because all those faiths really are a type of reincarnation. They want to give you some belief that you don't die, some comfort that you go to a further land. Something else is beyond.
Yeah. I just think rationally it can't get to this level of complexity if it just, do you know what I mean? If you've got a program and the program's limited from there to there, that's it. It doesn't ever get any complex. But if you've got an algorithm where the program does that and then it's fed back into itself and it does that, and then it starts to get complex and it starts to do things. So like the cycle of reincarnation to me is just a rational explanation as to how life has got to this level of complexity.
We're like walking AI beings almost.
Yeah.
But not artificial.
Yeah, genuine intelligence, hopefully. A lot of people are AI. A lot of you in the comments are totally on
They love you that lot, don't they? One of the things we spoke about last time was what I would deem as play on words that you used.
It is a play on words,
human manifestation. Yeah. But these...
A lot of people kicked it off, didn't they?
Well, I think I've done a little bit of looking into myself. I feel like they only work in Latin English. Do they work in other languages?
Yeah,
because obviously,
maybe it doesn't. But there's a guy called Santos Bonacci, which I urge everybody to go and check out his work on etymology. He's a multilingual syncretist. Yeah. So he speaks multiple languages. I only speak English, so I'm sorry. I can only do it in English. It only makes sense to me in English. I don't speak in other languages. But there's the whole point of etymology is that there are phonetic crossovers in language. Yeah. So sound precedes language, and language precedes physicality. Everything's sound and light, and that sound and light condenses itself as fucking everything that we see. Yeah. The holographic reality. So, like, I mean, I don't know much in regards to different languages, but I know with the days of the month, so that we're told that October's the 10th month and November's the fucking 11th month. Like, if you look into different languages, like the September is 7 or Sapta, Set is 7. There's a few different languages there where it works. Ocho, Oct 8.
I remember this from French class at school. So some
November,
of them, some
Nueve,
of them work.
Nov, Des, Desha, 10. So like I can't fully articulately go into one about different languages because I'm not multilingual. But like, check Santos out.
That terminology you just gave with the month, so that's slightly different because that's based on moon, stars, alignment, and months. And
but the point is the word, the sound is like 9, Nov, Nueve, or Sept, Sapta. They're different languages that have the same sound. Like, somebody wrote to me in one of the comments saying, "Oh, the believe thing and lie doesn't work because in my language it's his is lie and then hitzvah." And I'm like, well, I and A are interchangeable because they're vowels, and then Z and S are the same fucking set. It's like that is in that word. I can clearly see, just based on what you've written, that sound goes into that word. Do you know what I'm saying? So it does work. I don't know the be-all and end-all of everything. I'm not sat here claiming to know the be-all and end-all of everything. What I'm saying is, if you do a bit of research, because everything is one energy pattern experiencing itself subjectively, everything's connected. And just because you can't get your head around how this one doesn't do it, doesn't mean that everything else doesn't work. Do you know what I'm saying? Your limited understanding of something doesn't mean that everything else doesn't work. And obviously people are using that with me with this combustion, because you don't understand fission and all this crap. It's like, you're arguing a model that doesn't, like, as far as I'm concerned, is like Santa Claus. It's like arguing a child about the tooth fairy. Like, I know based on observable reality that thing that you think is a reality is impossible. So I'm happy for you to think it. The reason I use the term combustion is because it's something that me and you can experience together. You can use a lighter flint. Anything that's hot and burning usually is combusted. You know that. Yeah. When they're saying things like nuclear fission or fusion or these things, you're in the realm of imagination again. It's an appeal to authority because you've been told that's the case, but you and me can't generate that or create that. Oh, they do it every day in nuclear reactors. Do they? Do they actually? Or is there other ways of heating up uranium to create steam that generates energy? I don't know. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm not pretending that I do know.
You're just saying unless you've done it yourself.
Yeah, you can't go 100% on it.
Obviously, some of the stuff like French for hue is like tiente or something. I don't know how you pronounce it. Gravity, grave, in Spanish is tumba.
What do they say the human is? Well, what's the word for human?
I didn't check that, to be fair.
It would have probably been handy to check both and see if they go into each other.
Tumba.
Yeah. But I don't know. I mean, it's all up for fucking further research.
It is now, I get you.
And it's like, the point of it isn't just because the fucking tattooed lizard on the podcast has told you it is that it is. Like, we're just two blokes having a conversation about some things that some people may find interesting. We're not trying to dictate reality is a set way. I've just got...
The other interesting thing is I looked on here about, we were talking about aeroplanes.
Yeah.
And you were like, aeroplane for flat.
Yeah.
But plane actually comes from the Greek word, Greek suffix planos, which actually means wandering.
Wandering.
As in, kind of has a similar meaning, I guess, but the plane of Earth, wandering.
Yeah, wandering the plane. I don't know. Plane in woodwork is flat, isn't it? You plane something to be flat.
In English, yeah.
Yeah.
But apparently it comes from a Greek word. It's
wandering,
in our language.
Yeah, so maybe wandering.
I don't know how true that is.
Wandering the plane of the Earth, potentially.
I'm reading a load of stuff on the internet myself, trying to filter what's... That's the other hard thing, right? So when you say to someone, go and do a little bit of research, but
where does it go?
There's pro and con of everything, because you've got people releasing their thoughts on it that might think the same as you and then might think the same as me.
Yeah.
How do you know which one to be true?
The whole point of it is just getting rid of all of the bullshit and then for yourself, in your own reality, working out what makes sense based on what you can observe and what you know to be true. And then if somebody else can give you a counter argument and provide enough evidence for something, you can maybe adopt that viewpoint. But until they've done that, don't just fucking take what you were told as fucking reality.
Yeah, I mean, the other holographic...
That's a good message. That's like, you know what I mean?
It is a good message. I think that people try and understand it and they probably struggle to put it into their world. Yeah. Even me, like when you say things, even when I watched the podcast back this morning, last night, a bit of it, sort of thinking like, I still can't actually get my head around that certain bits that he's saying. I can't remember the part of it now. I've written it. Some of the holographic stuff, like I did a load of research on, because I'm thinking it as literal and you're thinking it as just kind of spiritual and
just a description of how things function.
Because when you're saying holographic
is light, it's just light. It's
light,
a dance of light.
If you look at studies online, 3D holograms I said this to you earlier, they have to have a specific light source, i.e. a laser beam, consistent or something.
How about God being the
it can't be the sun
light source?
It cannot be the sun to create a 3D hologram.
Well, no, but who said that the sun's creating the hologram? I never said that, did I?
No, you didn't.
No.
That's what I'm saying. I'm literally
what about the light of awareness or the light of divinity that creates the hologram? What about all the stars and the sun and the moon and all the lights together being the thing that create the hologram? What about light itself? Do you know what I mean? We're trying to get like trying to objectify it as like it's a hologram, so the hologram must do this because that's what I know. Mate, holographic is light. It's an accumulation of like, what I'm saying with the holographic thing is it's not solid. When you the more you zoom into shit, it's not solid. That's my point with like the fusion and fission. I did a bit of research myself. Obviously back in the 90s when I got programmed, it was a burning ball of gas. And I think on NASA's website, if you Google it, it is still a burning ball of gas, but Google have updated it to say plasma now. And obviously like these people are arguing it as if it's fucking fact, but they've never... You haven't been any closer to the sun than I've been to the sun. You don't know anything any more than I know as fact. Do you know what I mean? And then the nuclear fission fusion thing, what are the practical steps that a human takes to create those things? Not, an atom, it takes an atom and the nucleus of one atom and the nucleus of another. Mate, you can't see atoms. No one's seen a fucking atom. You can't see them.
Yeah.
And that's my point, is that when you zoom into it, there's no particles, there's no bits, it's all frequency, it's all sound and light, and that is what makes it holographic. Do you know what I'm saying? It's not like somebody's created a simulation and put you, it's like the nature of it operates holographically because it's made of light and sound. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not like this thing that's been created that's now not real, that's fake, like it's as real as anything. Do you know what I mean? Did you get...
I am. I'm looking at some of the things about 3D projection and stuff, but you've kind of...
We were trying to objectify the notion again.
I'm trying to put I'd argue I'm trying to put rational thought behind it. And I'd argue that what you're saying is like unrational to my mind. Because I'm thinking if it's a 3D projection, how can we both have shared experiences?
You're objectifying it again by saying it's a 3D projection. So you think it's this thing that's being projected, it's now objectified. What I'm saying is that reality being holographic is just the nature of it isn't solid. It's frequency, it's sound and light that generates a holographic projection that you interpret as physical.
So do we have any control over our own lives?
I actually think that a free will is an illusion. But
really?
But I do think we have, again, everything's fucking is, but it isn't. It's just the nature of like everything's paradoxical. But in our day-to-day life, I've got the free will to put that there. It's cool. And then put that there. But ultimately, the divine is flowing through me and knows that that's going to do that. So I've got the perception of free will, but ultimately God or the divine or whatever it is doing it anyway and knows what it's doing through me. So as much as I think that I don't know that I'm doing it or I'm catching it off guard, I'm the expression of it.
Yeah.
So there isn't really, I mean, you can go as depraved and as fucked up as you want in the reality if that's what you feel fit. But it, like, on a deep level, really, like it all has to be for some sort of purpose, because the divine does it through you.
Of course.
That's what I'm saying.
Do you believe in alternate realities then?
Well,
this is our reality.
I've experienced it through the psychedelics. So yeah, I don't believe it. I know it.
But you've not really experienced it. It's in your mind.
I've experienced it.
It's in your mind.
It's not in your mind when you're there, bro. Have a go.
But this is the same as this. No, so I'm going to have a go. I'm going to. But that experience you've had is purely in your mind.
It's physical when you're going through it. It's not even just your mind. It's
so you can feel like you're touching stuff.
Bro, your fucking body's. It's happening.
One thing I find really interesting about it, you know this dude, Graham Hancock. Do you know him?
I really rate. I actually went and seen him talk a couple of times.
Ancient Civilization guy. He's on that Netflix show, and he talks
rated
about
his things until, like, he's been on it long enough now. I actually like him. I like him as an author. I like his books and things. But he's obviously stuck on the globe thing, and he is
stuck on the globe thing. But what I found interesting is he's looking at all these ancient civilizations all the way around the world that have built very similar structures that supposedly couldn't communicate. Couldn't communicate, because supposedly in those years there was no mobile phone, there was no internet.
Did you see all the Tartarian shit where they were fucking, they reckon that, I mean, I don't know again how fucking much of that's just psyop, I don't know, but they reckon that a lot of the buildings were like a free energy grid. So the higher you go, you can harness atmospheric energy, and then they reckon that they would somehow use water to move that energy.
But he said about something that stuck with me is, well, you said it as well. He says, how would they have all seen the same, like all the drawings all around those ancient buildings are the same? And he puts it down to psychedelics. He puts it down to them each having, like, the Egyptians had the blue lily or something.
Every landmass has got its own sacrament. So we've got the Liberty cap is the English, indigenous English mushroom. And then obviously there's different ones. You can get wavy caps, you can get different things here.
But if it all opens at a similar bandwidth, you're all seeing the same thing, then they're building these structures and they all look the same, even though they're
but then that goes back into the holographic thing, that it's all one field. So it's all one connected field. So, like, that's like the 100th monkey thing, isn't it? Like, and then the thoughts and things exist on a field as much as emotions and as much as the physicality. And sometimes the things that you're thinking aren't even your thoughts. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can't even.
That blows my mind. I have some thoughts like that sometimes.
Yeah, but your brain's a receiver. So you could be picking, like, half of the weird shit that comes into your head could be someone else's weird shit, or it could be just be some shit in the field that's been put there for you to either go, I associate with that, or I don't, and then it's up to you, your internal morality. So you don't think there's no such thing as morality?
No, I do.
Yeah.
What I meant is I wholeheartedly believe in that. I try and live my life on that. I think, like, my job on the planet is to,
fuck the animals.
You debunk my whole ethos is to be a good human being. But the animal thing obviously debunks that, the vegan thing. I'm more meant as in your way of thinking, if we're holographic electromagnetic beings and none of it's kind of real and it just keeps creating it itself.
But it is real.
There's no such thing as moral, because we're a computer, effectively.
No, it's not. That's just in your head, the way you've got your head around maybe the terminology hologram is not the right thing for your head. It's like, it's real. It's real. It's the reality. Do you know what I mean? And maybe instead of the truth or hologram, you can say the reality. So, like, when we're talking about the animal thing, like, the reality is that you don't want to be killed, someone else can eat your body. And then do unto another as you'd have do unto yourself. Like, how can you then put that on another person or another being, another body, if you wouldn't allow it yourself? You know what I mean? The same as me getting covered in tattoos. Like, how can I sit there and carve you up for 6 hours a day
if you're not going to have
it yourself? I'm not going to cover myself in it. Do you know what I mean? Like, you have to be an example of what you preach. Otherwise, what's the fucking point?
We said earlier about the big kind of names in the scientific community, like your Neil deGrasse Tyson, Brian Cox.
Cartoon. They're actors. They're literally paid actors. The guys don't know anything. If you're not a total retard, if I can say that word, then it's quite clear that those people haven't got a clue what they're talking about. What
gives you the power to be able to say that about them, though?
Because I've got a mouth.
Yeah, but you know, like, you know,
doesn't they can say it about me if they want, and it's up to you to work out who you believe the best. I don't know.
But these guys have like supposedly given 20, 30, 40 years of their life
apparently
into research.
But if you look into them, like they're registered, like Neil deGrasse Tyson's registered. He's a registered actor. He's literally, you can hire him.
Yeah,
he's not a scientist. He's just a turd. But he might be a really nice guy. Is
there any leading names or anyone that, if people want to look into this more, that have similar beliefs that you or
so the people that help me out the most,
that they can kind of Google and read about their thought process.
So YouTube, Eric Dubay, he's someone that there's a lot of information's just psyop crap just to get you thinking. It's like you said about the curve thing on the curved windows on the aeroplane. Like they tell you like, okay, the flat earthers say there's curved windows on airplanes, and when you actually go on an airplane, you got a flat window. You're like, oh, it's all fake. It's not a flat there anyways. Do you know what I mean? But then it's a red herring. It's just something that's designed purposely to make you dismiss the subject. But Eric Dubay, someone that's really good. Santos Bonacci he's I mean, that guy puts out some fucking really, really good information. Like I watched, he was right into the legal lawful stuff years ago, and then he's a astrologer, and his whole thing was based on obviously astrology and the globe and all this stuff. And then he had people coming up to him saying to him, mate, look, check this stuff out. This makes a lot more sense. And he poo-pooed it. And then in the end was open-minded enough to have a look at it, and then worked out that the whole thing makes perfect coherent sense with the flat Earth model over not any set model, but the everything we know about space in inverted commas is what we've observed from here up. Everything they tell you that they've observed up there is fake. So like astrology works because it's an ancient understanding of the sky.
Yeah, and
the sky works with us on the floor looking at the sky. But when you objectify the Earth and then put the whole sky around it, it doesn't actually work anymore. And then, I mean,
so we touched on the flat Earth thing last time. So I'm going to. I've got a few points on that to go through. So all the planets are flat.
Who knows? Who knows? And who even knows if what? Like you're in the front room, and I'm looking at the fridge. Doesn't mean I'm stood on a fridge. I'm sat looking at you. It doesn't mean I'm you. The table's there. Doesn't mean the carpet's a table. So, do you know what I mean? Just because you're sat looking at something doesn't mean it's that by definition. And then I don't know. I haven't got a fucking clue. And then I don't think this Earth is flat anyway because you've got hills and you've got craters, like I said before. But it's a horizontal bandwidth of information because that's how frequency works.
What about? I think last time we touched on comets and like outer space and
I told you last time I got a bit of meteorite and I told you my mad fucking interpretation of what that potentially is, but who the fuck knows? It's okay not to know. Do you know what I mean? And I think what really
there's supposedly there's proof in Graham Hancock talks about this in Greenland. Okay. There's that comet footprint that supposedly wiped out the Younger Dryas 13,000 years ago in ancient civilization.
It's just a man talking about a hole in the floor.
But what they've gone there, they've inspected the hole on the floor. Supposedly, there's materials there that are out of Earth materials. Supposedly,
yeah. And then, I mean, does those out of Earth materials come from up, or do they come from out of Earth, like from further out that way? Who?
Yeah,
I don't know. But the thing, like, what people do is they want to attach themselves to thinking they know. You know what I'm saying? They want to know. And if you say, look, we don't know, that unsettles everybody. And they're like, no, we do. There's experts have done that and they've done this. I'm like, yeah, but have they? Well, you can't just dismiss everything. I'm like, well, you can.
Yeah.
You can. You can sit there and be yourself and then work out what the fuck is going on around you based on what you know about it. Do you know what I'm saying? I think that's a healthier way of living, personally.
So where do you think humans came from?
I don't know, God. I don't know. I just think we are the manifestation of God in physical form. And I think God's a fucking algorithm and a frequency. I think that it does a lot more than just this. And I think that the psychedelics show you, they peel back the curtain a little bit and show you like, yeah, it does more than that and it's fucking really far out. But I don't know that that's the be all and end all of it. I don't know that it doesn't do some other even fucking madder shit when you get to that level. Do you know what I mean? But that's a much more exciting and it's a much more freeing way of viewing the world, rather than, okay, you've been told there's no more land, there's no more adventure to be had, everyone's done everything, we've already been to space, we've already done that, this is how it is, done. No point in thinking, go to work, make money. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, or we are all born into this fucking mad mystery. None of us have got a clue what's going on. Even like, oh yes, well, Galileo said this and Einstein. I don't fucking know those people. I don't give a fuck, mate. Why are those people any more relevant than anyone else you know or anything else that you've experienced? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, let go of it all and analyze your reality for yourself and build a version of reality that makes sense based on observation and experience.
Your own experience is ultimately number one. Yeah.
It's the only thing that's happening.
Yeah.
Everything else is an idea. Everything else is an ideology.
I was going to ask something about, I mean, we talked last time about aliens and all this UFO stuff, but do you believe there's possible entities smarter than us or living in a kind of a different dimension or whatever it is, but like, living amongst us right now as a world as we know it?
Could be, potentially, I suppose.
On Earth as we know it.
Potentially, yeah. It could be. I mean, I know that I know that all is one. So that ultimately we are all connected to divinity and divinity flows through us. But I also know that I'm not all of it, because you're a bit of it and I'm a bit of it, and so's that, and so's she, and so's that. So there's obviously a higher intelligence with the conglomeration of all the little bits.
Yeah.
So yeah, there very well could be beings in physical form that. I mean, mate, there's loads of people that are smarter than me. So, do you know what I mean?
That's more intelligence. I meant as in from like a.
I don't know. I really would love to know. I like the idea. I sent you that thing the other day where the fucking ships are going like through Antarctica, and there's like a trade route. Because we got the little books, the passports and things. I'd go as far as saying that there's like the people on certain bits of land are allowed to know about other bits of land, and you're allowed certain holidays at certain places, but there could very well be like places that we don't know about that operate with other bits of land that we don't know about, and those people could potentially have papers that allow them into our version of reality as long as they don't fuck with our heads and what we understand to be true. Mate, anything's possible, isn't it?
Area 51?
I don't know, probably just some psyop bullshit again, talking about aliens. Just all that stuff just seems.
Do you think that's just to keep us in our box?
Probably, yeah. I don't know. Again, it's one of those things.
Because the other week someone come out again, some high level operative on some.
Yeah, honestly, it just gets into fucking
whistleblower,
la la land and mad. It's as much as whatever interests you, you look into, innit? And it
interests me. I don't know why. I like the thought of there being more other.
I think there is. I think there's loads more. And I think that's life. That's the base of what I'm trying to say is that there is more, and that we don't understand it all, and that it's not as far out there as having to get a fucking rocket ship and go into. It's like that way. It's that way. Like the potential is that you could get a fucking plane or a boat and end up somewhere that you had no idea existed.
Where do you think them rockets are going when they go up?
Into the water. What goes up must come down. You can't. They're a physical thing. They're made of metal or whatever they're made of, and that metal.
What, you think they can only go up so high?
Yeah, you know that. Yeah, 100%. It can't. Like I said to you before. There's no the gravity thing is just fucking bullshit, and it can't. You can't just fly up, and then just start floating. There's no evidence to suggest that gravity is real, other than the idea that you're on a ball spinning and you don't fly off. That's the only thing that people think proves gravity. But what I said to you before about density and buoyancy is why things come down. And a rocket is denser than air. So while it's got fuel in it, it will go up. And as soon as the fuel runs out, it will go down. And that's why a lot of these rocket sites are on the edge of like where the Bermuda Triangle is where they fire a lot of the rockets, apparently. They just go like that, and then you think that as it curves, it's going around the Earth's spin and coming out the atmosphere. Like, no, it's just going up and then going down straight into the water, and then everyone claps and thinks that it's gone. Then they put a little CGI thing on the fucking green screen, and there you go, back in space, boys.
the combustion thing.
Yeah. So I mean, I explained that earlier on.
But I've got a few things. I've went away and thought about this. Right. So you spoke about it being a ball of gas on fire.
Yeah, well, my point that in that whole conversation, obviously that was just a clickbait reel. They took a bit of our conversation out of context, and then for some reason people thought that I was arguing combustion, fusion, and fission, which I wasn't. I was literally talking about the fact that there's a practical example of how you can get, pardon me, a superconductor or a magnet, a solid thing, floating above a track. Yeah, the quantum levitation stuff, which to me, I mean, it's cold, the moon's cold. I don't know about the sun, but I can get my head around there might be some phenomena that we don't understand that makes a hot one do the same thing. But you can have a track and you can have an object floating around the track. You can measure the electromagnetic ley lines of the Earth. You can see the sun and the moon. So that to me is a practical example of how that phenomenon might happen. And then the point about the combustion in a vacuum, that was literally trying to say that if what we're being told is true, it should be replicatable. You should be able to get a box, create fission or fusion or whatever you fucking religious people think it is.
Yeah.
And then chuck a rock in there, fill it with water. And then they will go, oh yeah, well, no, because it needs to be much bigger. And if you want a roundabout spun once every 24 hours, you wouldn't fly off, would you?
So what I was trying to get is last time you said about vat packing.
Yeah.
Getting a bag, vat packing it and trying to put a spark and it wouldn't work.
Not in the bag. That was the bag thing was relevant to there not being you can't have two opposing pressure systems side by side with that solid barrier. So the bag was the barrier that gives you the vacuum and the non-vacuum. Do you know what I mean? And then the other thing was about having like a vacuum chamber, creating a complete vacuum and then trying to cause, I used the term combustion, but these people prefer fission, fusion. Yeah, in my mind, it's all semantics. Yeah, either way, you're not creating some heat source, some like light heat source in the center of the fucking vacuum, and then creating flicking a rock around it and then covering it in liquid, spinning that, having the liquid stick to it. Like, do you know what I'm saying? That was
I think I get it. I think my interpretation of a vacuum is probably different to yours, because a vacuum for me is something that sucks.
Well, a vacuum cleaner. It only sucks because it's void.
But a vacuum space is supposedly just empty. It's not a vacuum.
Yeah, but that's the reason the vacuum.
There's nothing there. Supposedly.
Yeah, but it's supposed to be sucking. That's the point. It's supposed to be like nature abhors a vacuum. Give me another example of a vacuum in nature.
Well, I don't know of any.
Exactly. Because it doesn't happen. Nature abhors a vacuum. Other than us creating a vacuum ourselves, there's no natural fucking vacuum. And people, well, everyone knows the vacuum's. You don't know the vacuum of space. You were just told that space is a vacuum. That's it.
I don't know. They mean the definition of vacuum. I don't know if they mean vacuum as in a vacuum cleaner.
Yeah, it's the same thing. A vacuum is
just empty.
Yeah, but that's a vacuum because it's a vacuum. It's so it's the definition of it. The reason it's sucking is because it's trying to equalize the pressure system. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So like the vacuum, if you blocked it up and it was powerful enough, would create that emptiness. And then if you break the fucking the barrier, it would then equalize, which would create the suck. So it's the same thing.
I see what you mean. Yeah, with the combustion, obviously, I was thinking about the three things you need, but maybe it's the wording.
But my whole point with these fucking people is that there's like it's handy.
Fire, heat, and
and
fuel.
Then as far as I'm concerned,
oxygen, heat, and fuel.
Yeah, and that's combustion.
Yeah.
But then they're like, "Oh, you fucking idiot! You need to do a third grade physics lesson." Like, no, mate. That's your third grade programming, because your mind knows that it doesn't do that. Do you know what I mean? It just doesn't do that. Whereas then fission and fusion are now handy terms that me and you can't check for ourselves. We've just got to appeal to authority again and go like, okay, well, people are doing that. Are they? Oh, space is a vacuum. Is it? Do you know what I mean? You know more than me then. You come on the podcast and tell us about it. I don't know.
I guess even with myself, mate, a lot of it, you're sort of like, that's all you've known for 35 years.
Yeah, it's what we've been told. And then we're so attached to what we've been told. But if you're not as attached to what you're being told, what I'm saying shouldn't rub you up the wrong way. It should just be like...
Shouldn't be offensive to them.
No. An offense, that's something that I wish I'd said when I left last time and you were asking me about the swastika. I really wanted to say, offense is taken, not given. It's not given.
Ricky Gervais says the same thing.
Yeah, it's that. And it's like...
You've chosen to be offended.
Yeah, don't take offense because the dog will get out. That's what I'm saying. It's like, once you've told someone that's my take on it, that's that. And then if you then decide, well, it's not that because of this and that, well, you don't want it to be that then, clearly. So you have it be whatever you want in your life and get the fuck off my comment section.
There's a couple of things I wanted to say. One was, as I was doing my research online, I actually found a really funny video. I don't think it was meant to be funny.
No.
It was a flat earther trying to prove with the laser experiment that the Earth's flat. So he set a cardboard up here with a hole in it and one like however distance away and shone a laser and basically told the geezer that it should go straight through it.
Yeah.
Obviously it didn't. It was miles out because of the distance.
But again, that would just be some bloke that's fucking about.
Curvature.
Yeah, but it's bollocks, isn't it? Again, that's another one of those videos that gets you comfortable in your current view and dismissing the other view. Like, mate, sonar, missiles. Get one of the military people on and talk about how far you can fire a fucking missile underwater, then talk to me about curvature. They fire in a straight line, mate.
Yeah, but they don't go that. They don't travel miles, do they?
They do. They go a lot further than what the distance of the Earth says. And then the map in a submarine is the azimuthal equidistant map. The logo of the UN is the azimuthal equidistant map. Do you know what I mean? The video, the YouTube. There's the what's the fucking Bedford mile or something? The Bedford experiments where they're there's certain rivers that are long enough that you can do the tests on, and they prove beyond any shadow of a doubt that water is level, will contain. So you don't need a YouTube video to tell you that does that, mate. That does that. It's fact, isn't it? And then you need the video to show me the opposite of that. Like if you can now make the water stick to the outside of the cup, well, let's have a talk. But until, do you know what I mean? Like it doesn't require any more looking at, any more appeal to authority, any more bullshit. That does that. That's just what that does. It's just what it does every time. You know what I mean? You can't make it do not that. And then like, oh, there's no vacuums in nature. Oh, but there is when it's bigger and you can't see it. Oh, you can't make water stick around a ball. Oh, but when it's bigger, it does that. Oh, yeah, you can't. But when it's really small, it does that. Oh, but you can't see it either. You're not smart enough to see it. You're not smart enough to be in the laboratory.
If I got you on Richard Branson's Atlantic space travel thing he's recently done.
I'd say
if I put you on that and you went up 55,000 feet in the air, which is where apparently his spaceship goes, and you saw with your own eyes a ball
out of the LCD screen windows.
No.
And then they put the gravity. I reckon what'll happen in a minute, is they'll have a plane like Branston Pickles' fucking plane, where they've got the windows are their screens, high definition screens. And then
you're not even it's a simulator, you're not even in the air.
Totally. Well, no, it'll be in the air, So and then what they'll do is they tell you, because you've not gone through the necessary test, they've got a system that simulates gravity. So you're not going to float around and do everything. But they'll take you up in the plane, and you'll just be flying around in circles above the plane of the Earth, And then out the windows, you'll be looking at, there will be an augmented reality. So the whole plane will be programmed with an augmented reality that plays on the screens on the outside of the walls. So wherever the plane turns its nose, the augmented reality will follow.
Yeah.
And then what they'll say is for 40 seconds, we can turn off the gravity system so you can experience 0G or whatever it's not zero, whatever, zero gravity.
Yeah.
And then what they'll do is they'll do a parabolic dive, but the screens won't change and you'll just start floating around. And then you've been to space, man. You've been there. You've seen it with your own eyes. You floated. You experienced it.
But this is the part.
But on the outside of it, it's just a fucking aeroplane that's done a dip and gone back up.
So what would it take for you to? Because if I said to you, if we take you up there and show you it, you're still saying it wouldn't be real. It's a screen. So you're almost so set in your way. No, but
it would just be a way of how would you show me it? Are we going into a weather balloon? And you're going to send up. I mean, there's more than enough examples of people sending up rockets with non-fisheye lenses, and you can see the fucking horizon at camera level right the way up. So, like, how much more evidence do you need than that? My point is, like, it's impossible. You still think you're still trying, not you personally, but they're still trying to justify Santa Claus. It's fake, bro. And there's a few of us that have got to the point where you can clearly see that's pish. Like, it's so laughable. It's painful.
But you've not been up to know it's fake.
Well, no, you don't need to go up to know it's fake because water does that, mate. And the rocket, the camera can go up and you can see that the horizon is at the camera level. So like you can go up with the camera if you want, and you're going to get the same thing with your eye as the fucking camera got when it went up on the rocket. And they have happened. There's more than enough independent research.
I've seen in multiple videos on YouTube.
But
some showing it what you're saying, but some the other way. So
yeah, because they've got fucking GoPros and fisheye lenses.
So I'm a bit torn. If I'm honest.
When on the ones that are curved, if I'm not even, it's guaranteed. It will be curved that way, and then when the rocket moves, it will curve the other way because it's a fisheye lens. So the horizon is just bouncing through the fisheye lens. Whereas when you get a flat camera, it's at fucking lens level the whole way up, just fact. And then it's always people like Richard fucking Branston Pickle and people that are like certain like DeGrasse Tyson. There's always with these people that are like big names, big people that can, you come with us and we'll show you how it's real. Do you know what I mean? Like, no, me and you should be able to fucking get a private flight and just have a go and do something. But you can't do that. Like there's certain, you can't go so far. If you try, we said this last time, you try and go too far out, you're getting a military boat come up and say, no, you can't go there. The water's not allowed. Or you get a fucking fighter jet coming alongside you saying, no, come on, turn that way. And then I don't know why you would need to pay Branston a load of fucking money to go up in this fucking plane when you could just put a camera on a fucking rocket and see that the horizon's clearly at fucking lens level the whole way up. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't bend, it doesn't curve, it just doesn't do that. And you don't even need to get to that level once you open your mind enough to the fact that reality does what it does. It literally does what it does.
You're taking... The hard thing is you're probably right. None of us actually know.
No.
None of us actually know. The scientists don't know. No. Nobody knows.
No. As a collective, we don't know. But individually, you can know some things. But they've got you convinced.
You're taking micro stuff like this and putting up to macro, which is space.
Because as above, so
and
below.
And saying that it should react the same.
Well, it has to.
Why does it have to?
As above, so below. It's like one of the main Hermetic principles. I mean, whether the Hermes was fucking a turd as well, I don't know. But like, I don't know. But like, it makes sense to me. You can't tell me that the whole of reality functions a certain way that's clearly fucking undeniably observable. The torus field stuff I was talking about.
Yeah.
That's fucking so obvious. And then suddenly, when it's bigger, it doesn't do that, but you can't see it. And when it's smaller, it doesn't do that, and you can't see it. What are the chances, man? And why can't you see it? Oh, you're not smart enough. No, it's like...
You didn't go to a certain unit.
No, like why the fuck would water operate differently when it's bigger? Why would it do that rationally? Why would it do that? Other than you were told that it does that. Why would a vacuum operate any differently to what you know and experience it to be? Mm-hmm. Why would combustion or suddenly be fusion or something else? Like, why would it do what it... Why would it do the opposite of what it does?
We're going to have to agree to disagree, I think, on that.
But why? But why? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, explain to me, just because you were told and it suits your version of reality currently, because it's too uncomfortable to accept that potentially you don't know what you know, then it's like, why would it operate differently larger? There's no examples of body. If that was the case, a smaller cup of water would operate differently to a larger cup of water. But they don't. They do the same fucking thing. And do you know what I mean? You can't bend the fucking water evenly around the outside of an object.
The crazy thing is, mate, I can't actually answer you why.
No.
Because
it's programming. It's just a heavy program. I had the same program.
That's just what I think.
Yeah, but it's not. It's what you were told to think. It's not what you organically think. It's what you were told to think.
But nothing that any of us think, we organically think.
Yeah, you can think about it. That you can take. You can take.
But your thoughts are from those lads who are saying that you listen
my
to.
My thoughts were what you had. I was programmed at the same English school or whatever as you were.
And your tattoo mates deprogrammed you and reprogrammed you.
And then I got fucking my own personal experience with psycho. You got all of it, chuck it together, then you go, what's more likely? Rather than just, I was told this thing, that's easy to get my head around. Oh, well, the rest of it must be fucking nonsense. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like, the idea that the space is a vacuum just cracks me up, because you're like, how nature abhors a vacuum. Like, where the fuck is it? And then suddenly, oh yeah, it does that then though. When it's big, it must do that. But you can't confirm that ever. You can't confirm that. Oh yeah, it's fission. It's fission, it's plasma, and the plasma does this, and then it radiates that, and it sucks hydrogen in a nuke. You were just told that.
Do you believe there's still oxygen on the way up though? You know, you said you can go so far up.
Well, it's vibration and frequency. So as you get higher, once you get higher than the frequency of oxygen, no, that's why you can't breathe up there.
Yeah. So you believe that you wouldn't be able to breathe if you went high enough?
Yeah, I think you can prove that fucking just by going up. And you can go up a mountain and it's harder to breathe when you go for a run.
Altitude, yeah.
You know what I mean? That's something
thinner,
me and you can go and experience. But you can't infer that because that's the case, space is a vacuum. Oh yeah, I've been up a mountain and it's harder to breathe. So that means there's no oxygen, so it must be a vacuum. Something not having oxygen in it doesn't mean it's a vacuum.
Yeah, true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it doesn't confirm
It's like
that.
everything's inferred. So people go like, oh, that does that, so it must do that. But then it cracks me up. I mean, I suppose that's what I'm doing with that. If that does that, it must do that bigger. But that's
kind of what I was trying to get at earlier. Someone actually wrote in, which I found was really interesting. And Joe's beliefs on the Earth being flat and the rules that apply to things on Earth. That's a really good point he made on the last podcast they've put about every liquid finding its level until we go to biggest body of water, then the rules change. If the rules change when it becomes to subatomic microquantum physics and then Newtonian physics applying to anything above that is in our visible reality, how do we know the rules don't change when it comes to the macro space? Science doesn't yet have an undying field theory that explains everything. Does he think that there could be a possibility that the globe is round, but we don't really understand the rules properly yet?
I think the globe's a total imaginary concept that doesn't exist at all. And then when it comes to Newtonian, Galilean, whatever, these people are all like big names. They're like Branson back in the day, or they're like DeGrasse Tyson back in the day. They're the people that were used to push the narrative. Like all the ancient fucking civilizations knew the score. They knew that the Earth was fucking...
Laura, let's touch on the moon then, before we finish.
Yeah.
You said it was a luminary. Obviously, some people lost their fucking mind about that.
Someone said to me like, well, it's clearly, it's not a luminary. It's clearly physical. I'm like, well, a light bulb's physical and it's a luminary.
Someone's put, if it's a luminary and it produces its own light, explain an eclipse.
What do they mean?
Lunar eclipse. You know when...
Well, if an object's in front of the fucking light bulb, you can't see it anymore, can you? So
they're sort of saying, what is the object? I don't know. I'm just repeating.
I honestly don't know, mate. It's so my point was, the eclipse is a solar eclipse they're talking about.
Yes.
Then, yeah. Okay. So that would be the moon then. That would be the new moon in the way of the sun. So the sun's there. When they're smaller and localized, you're on the Earth here. I said this last time.
Yeah.
And then the moon is in front of the light. Yeah. So it's doing its thing. But because of the day, it's even new. We don't understand. I don't know how the moon illuminates itself, and I don't know how the phases of the moon work. But all I know is that it gives off a cold light, and that you can go out there with a thermometer and test that it's a cold light. If it was the reflection of the sun's heat, it would be hot. It's not hot, it's cold. So it's not directly just a reflection of the sun. Mm-hmm. I said before, there has to be some sort of interaction between them that dictate the phases. I don't know. And then the fact that it's a luminary and physical, a light bulb is luminary and it's physical. So, and the reason you can't go up and land on it, in my mind, is for the same reason you can't go up and land on the sun. You get too close to the sun, you'd melt. Get too close to the moon, you'd freeze. That's my take on it. I don't know. I'm not a scientist. I'm a tattoo artist.
I actually can rationalise with the getting too close to the sun with heat. That kind of makes sense, and that's kind of what we were taught.
Yeah,
getting too close to the moon, freezing. It kind of makes sense when you explain it. It's not what we were taught.
When
but
there's
it
no
kind of
clouds
makes
in the
sense.
sky, it's fucking Baltic.
Yeah,
but and you can literally get the thermometer and measure the shade of the moonlight is hotter than the moonlight. So if it's reflecting the sun's light, why is it not hot?
So the landing last time you said was bollocks.
Total bollocks.
I did a bit of reading online about this and just tried to find anything that's kind of credible, and there's not a lot. But one of the one theory that I read, that I thought I could half rationally consider it, was that they're saying that they did land on the moon, but they don't have any way of filming it. Geese didn't get out on Instagram it.
That was
so then they reenacted it in a studio to showcase it on the television. I know it sounds mental, but I was reading it and listening to it and thinking
that's handy.
Yeah, so they couldn't record anything when they're up there, supposedly, but they reenacted it.
But then they did record stuff when they were up there, didn't they? Apparently, and they were Wi-Fi into the bloke with his fucking dial-up phone. And then what happened? You know when it left? You know when you were watching it, yeah, and the thing leaves. Did they tie the camera to a string? And then what? When it left, then they pulled the camera back in then? Because there was someone filming the fucking thing.
They took off and then they come back around and picked him up.
That's what I'm saying. It's just fucking absolute crap. Total crap. If you believe the moon landing's real, you're a turd. I'm sorry.
So hang on, but there was 400,000 people involved in the moon landing.
Was there?
Supposedly.
Was there? Exactly.
According to the data. So they're all lying.
Well, if there even was that many people. Or they went through a scenario that they believe to be true, much like Branston's fucking plane. So like your average person, like I said last time, is as programmed as me or you are. And they just get given data and the data works. But the data, that doesn't necessarily mean that where the data is being collected from is what they've told you it's being collected from. Do you know what I mean? You can't... They believe wholeheartedly what they're doing is the thing. And there's a very small few people that are giving them the data to deal with.
But the hard thing to fathom is, just like you said, those people are so set in their ways and there's no way of changing them. There's no way of changing your mind.
Well, no, there is, because my mind was your mind. And I'm old.
No, but the way you think now, there's no way of bringing you to think.
I'm open. I'm open to everything, but I can't go back. I can't go backward and think...
Well, even if it was proven to you that...
I've only got to this level because you can't prove it. I've spent years and years trying to prove what I thought was real and it fell apart to the point where I've had to open myself up to like, okay, we don't know. Okay, but we don't know everything, but we can know some things. Okay, what things can we know? Okay, the torus field does that. Water does that. Vacuums do that. Like you can build a base model of what's going on for your own experience and then start to piece together a reality by not knowing what it is. But I can't, like, for me, like for you and me, like in your mind, it's like my view versus your view. But my view is your view that's been thought about. And it's got to a point where like that can't happen, Ty. You can't have liquid stuck to the outside of a ball. You can't, it just doesn't do that. It's not what it does. And you can't prove something that can't happen because it's not happening. If you can get liquid to stick around the outside of an object, if you showed me, if you fucked off, come back with a fucking tennis
experiment
ball
that
and you had a body of 5 mil of liquid wrapped around, I'd be like, all right then, potentially. Let's go then. I was wrong.
You know what drives me insane is that...
You know that can't happen.
No, not that. It's like, I want the answers.
Yeah.
I don't really like the way... I sometimes struggle with the way that you can operate, where you're like, well, that's just not how it is. We don't know how it is, but it's all good. Like, it's cool.
Yeah, but that's
my brain's
reality.
My brain's trying to be like, well, no, it's either that or that. Which one
is
it?
And that's what everyone in the comments is doing as well, because they're trying to accept that. Mate, it's the exact same thing as a kid thinking that Santa Claus is real and then being gutted when they find out it's not. It's that we've been fed. It's hard to get our heads around what the fuck's going on in life, and they give you a basic model of something that you can get your head around, or you give yourself on some deep level the thing, and you're like, okay, all right, that. But we were subjected to a lot of films. So like we think that makes sense. Like when I'm talking to you think that really makes sense. That obviously it's a vacuum and then there's fission and it does. But like when you actually strip it down, that's no one's seen that. No one's seen that. No one's been there. You can't do that. The people that say they've been to space haven't been to space. Like no one's been to space. You can only go so high and you can't go any further. It doesn't go any further. Your physical body cannot exist in a non-physical plane. Like it, do you know what I mean? You're stuck within a field.
Do you not think though, like spending hours looking at all this stuff over the last, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I feel like the mind plays a trick in a way. And what I mean by that is, anything that we don't fully understand or know, we create theories of how it might work. That goes for both trains of thought, yours and mine.
Yeah, you create a loose idea of how it might work.
Which is kind of how a conspiracy is born, in a way. You sort of think...
Yeah, or a conspiracy can be born if someone's actually genuinely fucking lied and...
Yeah, but as in like all those theories, all those alternate theories that are born because we don't really actually understand. And then the brain tries to create a rational thought about why it would be like that.
Yeah, but none of us know anything. And once you accept that, okay, I don't really know anything regarding the whole grand scheme of everything. So what can I know? And you're just like, okay, wood does that. It feels like that. It does that. Okay, metal does that. Yeah, you can, like, as basic as that, you can go, okay, glass does that. So glass,
you drop it breaks.
Wood. And you just start building your version of reality based on what you experience. And then like the theories, and like you can't dismiss fact for theory. This is another thing I wanted to cover with the people in the comments. Like, oh, don't you know that's a proven theory? I'm like, we mean you can't have a proven theory. It's either a theory or it's a proven fact.
Yeah.
And they're like, no. In science, if you did science, you'd know.
Scientific method they were talking about.
Yeah, but I'm up for scientific method. That's where I'm at with it. And that's why I'm at the place I'm at with it. Because scientific method dictates you can't get liquid to stick around the outside of a ball. Fact. But do you know what I'm saying? But then their scientism is like, well, no, when it gets bigger, the gravitational... Another thing they told me on the comments, which cracked me up, because I said centrifugal force. And they're like, oh, centrifugal force now apparently is a pseudo force, and centripetal force is the constant. And you're like, there's no example of centripetal force in existence. Yeah. For the example of centripetal force, a guy put a coin in a balloon, blew the balloon up, and then spun the balloon. He's like, this is centripetal force. No, mate, you've spun it. So you've generated centrifugal force. Yeah, it's not a force that's always acting on you because they're fucked in the head with the gravity and everything.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as those things. Yeah, when you spin something, that generates centrifugal force, which makes things go out from the center. By putting a coin in a balloon, you've still generated centrifugal force. You've just put a barrier around the fucking coin so it can't go any further.
Yeah.
There is no force
so
holding it in.
Can't spin off the roundabout and go.
There's a balloon around it. It's a barrier. That's not centripetal force. That's centrifugal force in a limited environment. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I'm saying? The people are fucked in their heads because they're like, oh, bro, forgot about gravity. And so they think they're being pulled down, but then because they're being pulled down, there's this centripetal force, and it's just idea. It's just total fucking nonsense to get their heads around the fact they know they should be flying off of a spinning ball. Like, you can't stick to the outside of a spinning object. And then the roundabout being fucking spun once every 24 hours, roundabout's very small. Yeah. The further you get away from the center, to get that amount of dirt and earth around that distance in 24 hours, it's moving at colossal speeds. It's not, because it's all pretend, it's all fake, and it doesn't exist. But if it was,
I thought you nearly came over to our side then.
Yeah, but there's no sides. It's literally just trying to fucking piece your reality together. I don't care what people think.
Do you believe there ever was dinosaurs?
No.
Even though there's fossils found?
There's not fossils found. There was a giant race of humans, and there's hard evidence for a giant race of humans. And what they've done, obviously there's large iguanas, there's large reptiles as well, for sure. Fucking crocodiles and big things, for sure. And animals larger than for sure. But what they've done is they've taken the things they've told you are dinosaurs as an evolutionary thing. Again, it's just another. If you go into any of these
dinosaur museums,
it's their resin. They tell you that the bones are too fragile. They keep them in the vault, and they've created a resin structure, so you never get to see the bones. And you
only see the skeleton. You don't see the flesh anyway.
Yeah, exactly. And the skeleton is, I would say, the dinosaurs is a handy. The giant human thing throws a massive spanner in the works of the evolution nonsense. Yeah. So
what makes you believe that so much? As giant humans?
Because there's fucking hard evidence of people with. I've seen a giant skull in the Natural History Museum, and I went up there. Like, there's pictures of people with footprints. Is like, mate, if you Google, I can't explain exactly what link I saw what, and sorry everyone in the comments, I can't, but like, Google it, I don't know, or don't DuckDuckGo it, or whatever fucking you need to do, I don't know, but I've seen enough evidence to suggest the giant human thing over dinosaurs. The Eric Dubé again did a thing about dinosaurs and showed you that the first person to discover dinosaurs was at a certain period of time, and he was the head of a certain museum, and it's all just as sus as everything else.
I quite like the thought of dinosaurs.
Right. Everyone quite likes the thought of all of it. Like, people have like an emotional attachment to that, and an emotional attachment to like aliens. You play with as kids, space.
Don't you? So you've got a real deep euphoric kind of.
But mate, if there's giant humans, then fuck me, there's probably massive giant mad animals that we haven't got a clue about that are probably just as exciting as dinosaurs. But what they've fed you as dinosaurs and the creatures they created, when you look at the anatomy of them, couldn't even procreate. They couldn't even shower. Look at a T-Rex. How does a T-Rex fuck? Do you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make, none of it makes fucking sense. But because you've seen a movie of it, they've visualized it, and you've now watched it in a movie. When your brain watches something, it fires the same fucking neurons as if you've actually done it. So the amount of times that when you walk into a fucking movie and it's Universal Studios on a ball, zooms in to the ball, that's the first bit of like hypnosis programming. So now you're watching American Pie, but American Pie is happening on the ball because it's gone through the Universal logo into the ball. Now we're at school. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, and the dinosaur thing again, more programming. Just it's
Pyramids.
Yeah, they're there. You can see them.
But who built them?
I don't know any more than you do.
We haven't got a theory on that.
I don't know. I saw a lot of stuff about them using like sound levitation to move blocks and stuff, and that makes a lot of sense. Vibration. You can see that happening. Yeah, and that correlates with the holographic thing and the frequency and vibration thing, 100%. And I reckon they're like sound healing chambers. There's a guy called what's his fucking name? John something Stewart. He's the guy. He coined the term cymatics.
Yeah.
So you know what cymatics is? When you put a grain or a fluid on a fucking thing and play a frequency through it, it starts to create geometry and stuff. And he went into the Great Pyramid, fixed the corner of the sarcophagus, put a membrane on it, and then did some frequency tests, and they were getting like hieroglyphics and things back. He also went to some like churches, some like fucking Templar churches, did the same thing at some of the altars in these churches, and we're getting like crosses and different things back. And he reckons that he went into the sarcophagus after repairing the corner of it because it's damaged. And I don't know the terminology of it in sound. My friend Neil will probably go mad. But there's the term for doing like a crescendo of tone. So you start off like when you're in an area, you can go like, and at some point you get one of the tones will start to vibrate the room, and that's the resonant frequency of the room. And he went in the sarcophagus and did that, and then he had I've missed half the story. So he's gone into the pyramid with a tour guide carrying all his bags and stuff because he had a bad back or a bad hip or something. I can't remember the proper thing. Done this experiment in the sarcophagus, had this full body mental experience, and then when he come out, felt totally healed and was able to carry his stuff. John Stuart Reid. His name's John Stuart Reid. And a friend of mine, Lee, actually knows and talks to him. He's a Geordie bloke.
Might have to get him in.
Yeah, it'd be fucking really interesting. Some of the stuff they've done, like. But what I'm saying is there is a lot. I mean, I am. Again, I say it fucking maybe cut out the amount of times I've said it, but I am just a tattooist, and I just know a few basic things that have built a version of reality that differs from most. But there are people doing genuine experiments, like the people that are sending up rockets with proper cameras on them, people doing the laser experiments that aren't fucking bogus. And there are people like the cymatic stuff. There's a lot of people in like the conscious movement that know what the fuck's going on and are getting answers. So, I mean, a big shout out to anyone that sent me positive messages and stuff. There was a funny thing as well, was people, a lot of people said, "Oh, I've seen your videos." See, I haven't made any videos. I just came here and talked to you, and then the videos have made themselves.
Yeah. Well, I think that the whole aim of this show and podcasts and life in general is to share ideas, different views. Yeah, and it's important. I know I got a lot of hate saying, "Why are you giving this guy a platform?"
Yeah, no.
I actually really enjoy talking to you. Some of it's fucking mental, but
yeah, I know. I enjoy coming on and having a chat.
And I'm none of the wiser, if I'm honest.
No, mate, it's one of those things that I've been doing a YouTube channel. You can follow me on YouTube, Joe Munro, and I've kept it away from this kind of stuff. I've just done like vlogs and personal stuff because of the way it gets received and stuff. But then since doing this, I had loads and loads, as much of all the hate that I got an overwhelming amount of
generally
really positive, lovely, conscious, decent people that are asking me to sort of put more videos together and stuff. So, I mean, over the next year or so, I'll start doing some shorter video. I mean, when we're here off the cuff and we're both trying to work out what we said last time and what we've missed and your opinion, my opinion, it's difficult. But in the future, if I can sit down and articulate like a set video and edit it in a way where it can't be misconstrued, that might be something I should be doing.
Channel, definitely.
Yeah,
definitely. Mate, appreciate you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Love, Ty. Honestly, thanks for having me on again.
Thank you, mate.
I hope it's received as well as the last one.
Fingers crossed. Let's see.
Please don't fucking brick my house.
Say woof again! Say woof again!
I've got one that can see.
This is my kung fu, and it is strong.
See you later.